I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the date done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
William Pitt Memorial High School D-Cup Alumni presents its third annual fundraising barbecue on Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. Wear your favorite jersey to Wilsonwood Park in Mount Vernon, New York. Remember to take exit 12 off the Hutchinson River Parkway. Music by DJ Mad Max of Sound 1000. Proceeds to aid the William Pitt High School Costa Cup team. For more information, contact Keegan 304-607-4034. Our codfish at 954-639-2991. Proud of people, it's important. Remember, make sure say, oh no, did that.
Greetings, and good evening. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Man's Man, and it is always my joy and my pleasure to have you as part of our platform. You know, whether you are just a viewer, if you're a subscriber and a viewer, or you're a subscriber, a viewer who participate by making your comments, we are extremely grateful for your involvement and your participation. It's a great day, and we are alive, and we always pause to give thanks for life. So many things are happening in our society and in our communities. Life is not guaranteed to anyone. We just had a pandemic. We also had, many people dying because of the pandemic. We have accidents. We also have, oh my Lord, crime and all of those things. But you know what the good thing is? The good thing is that we are here. We are alive. And if we could just take a moment to stop and say, thank you. We want to call him Jah, God, Jesus, but just say thanks for life, right? And at the same time, I urge you, just take a small portion of your day and just pray for somebody. You understand me? Pray for someone, that God would keep them. Every mother cries and father cries and communities mourn. And we, as a society, we have to be better. I also want to encourage you that when you get to a point of conflict, it is always better to walk away. Listen, Lose the fight and preserve your life. Someone tells you about the body parts of your family members. They call you all kind of names. Walk away. Don't respond. Yeah. Somebody, if you can avoid it, avoid it. Don't try to be the man by being bad. Be the man by doing what is responsible. See, some people have nothing to live for. You probably have a wife, you have a son, you have a daughter, you have a mother, you have a father who you care about and they care about you. Why give up your 3 points to someone who has no care in his life? Walk away. All right? Be wise. Based on your past experience, your present circumstances, and your future expectation, what is the wisest thing to do? So I encourage you with those words. I also want to say a big thank you to the persons who support the channel. Listen, we did some shirts, some for the market in the United States, and most of them think we probably have 1 or 2 left. And I want to thank every person who purchased one of our I Am Sure Sports 2022 edition. And I know like people will purchase it not because they are going to wear it immediately, some because they want to support the platform, and we appreciate that. For those in Jamaica, just in one space alone, all the shirts were sold. We want to say big thank you to those persons who support the platform. For those who give the super stickers and the super chats, that give it maybe $2, it may be $4, it may be $1, it don't matter. It helps us to keep the work that we're doing going on. I have persons that work in the field to get information. I have to cover transportation, and so what we get, that's what we use it for. And so we are very grateful for all of that. A big thank you. But most importantly, there are persons who advertise their product on the platform. Launch Legacy is one of those companies. It is owned and operated by someone someone in it is someone who is a former footballer. His name is Patrick Reed, right? And I want to say a big thank you to him at Launch Legacy. Launch Legacy is where they handle risk and seek legacy. So for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA, visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text them at 647-989-0782. Also want to say a big thank you to Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it the most. This company is located in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, and they are willing to lend you up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars so that you can, pay the school fee at the end of the semester or the beginning of the semester to pump some capital into that business. Their interest rate is 0 to 4%. And if you tell them that you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports, there'll be no processing fee and same day processing. All right. So thank you to all of those persons. Just to give you some update on Chelsea, Liverpool defeated Villarreal 2-0 in Champions League today. The game yesterday, you'd have known that Manchester City eked out a 4-3 victory over 4-3 victory over Real Madrid. Karim Benzema in his mature age just keep banging in the goals. So very interesting ties going ahead into the second round. The Jamaica under 17 footballers, they have qualified for the round of 16. They defeated the Dominican Republic, the host nation, 3-1 yesterday. Tomorrow they will meet top of the table Canada, and if they win that game, they have an easy pathway into the semifinals. If they lose, they will fall in the bracket where they will meet the United States of America in the quarterfinals stages of the competition. All right, so just giving you a little bit of sporting information out there. Again, I see Fresh God as usual in the building. Sir Minot, bless up yourself. Grace and peace, my brother. Triple E, bless up, my friend. Calvert Barkley, listen. Calvert Barkley, I want you to, when you come on, and I hear that I call Jerome Barkley's name, that he's in the U20, and I heard that he's doing really well. I want you to come on and say that, because normally if his name is not there, you'd come and complain. Now that his name is there, you need to come on and say, listen, yes, Jerome's name has been included. He has been invited to remove the fear and the speculations and the questions. All right. So make sure you do that, sir. All right. KY, blessings, man, and big up to you. Lulu, yeah, man, people. Lulu has in his arsenal. He has in his arsenal a future star centre back for the Reggae Boyz, Lulu. No, that's what we will say for now. In a few years, you'll be meeting him. I promise you that. Big up Tyrone Williams, Chris Romans as usual, blessing. Coach Naji, bless up, good to see you in the building. So Mannings, if them lose, then 100% will play the yes. If they lose the game now, they can't avoid. The only way to avoid the USA is to win against Canada, which is not impossible, but the probabilities of that happening, in my opinion, are very low, because Canada and the United States are two of the better teams in the world. We did beat Canada, however, in 2019 we actually defeated Canada. That was a team with Lacey and Murray, Jody Brown, and a few others who are in the in and around the senior team, and we defeated Canada in that tournament. So we are getting better. We're getting closer to the top, and those who are below us in the ranking, they are coming closer. So there's growth on either side. And I learned something very, very, very important, because truthfully, I am a little bit disappointed in the quality of play. We have won, and that is always good. But personally, I haven't seen any sort of structure or system. And Dane Chambers is a former. Dane Chambers actually went with the U17 team to the World Cup. So he's a former footballer. He's also an assistant coach at Garvey Maceo, who won the Da Costa Cup, and they're also in the finals of the under 16 tournament. So they will play Clarendon College on the on Friday to see who will be the rural era champion, who will then take on the corporate era champion for the All Ireland champions of the under 16 tournament. So he has worked in a successful schoolboy program. That's Dane Chambers. He's the coach. Wendell Downwell is also there, who is the technical director. But just me personally, from what I've seen from the two games, I don't see a system, and I guess it permeates our football. From the senior team, we have not. There's no identity to our play. And again, this is my opinion. I don't know all things. I could be wrong. Maybe there is, and I wear glasses. I may not be seeing it, right? Other persons could be seeing it. So please just understand, this is opinion based. In my humble opinion, I haven't seen a proper system of play, and I saw some stuff that, in my opinion, there were things that should have been coached. Like, I remember in the first game, and I don't like to talk about female football because it's a little different, but this is constructive criticism, all right? So the number 7, who is Buckley, who was a part of the U20, which to me is very surprising, because given what I've seen of her in the U17, I don't know if it was the best thing to have her in the U20s. That's pass. So in the first game, when she was taking the corner kicks, I realized that she was taking the in-swingers from the outside of the corner flag instead of the inside. And she's using her right foot to kick a in-swinging corner, and she's on the outside of the corner flag. And she did that like on 4 occasions in the game. All right. Maybe it wasn't corrected because maybe she was on the side where the coach could not speak to her. Or maybe she did it in training. I don't know. but it wasn't corrected in the game. But in the second game, they didn't give her any of the corners. They gave the Simis, Andrine Simis, I think her name is, the corners. So she used her left foot for the in swingers and the out swingers. So at least they made that change. And they were playing this high line that exposed them a whole lot. And I think if they were playing against a quality opponent, they could be in some problems. These are my personal observation. All right. So I spoke to a couple of coaches, and then I was told this, right, that the technical development of the young ladies is 2 years behind. At first, I didn't understand what that meant, all right? But here's what I was told, that since the pandemic, there has, like, leading up to the pandemic, there was no football at that age group. So these girls 2 years ago would be like 13, 14, and there was no football. They went through 2 years of the pandemic with no football, and then they are brought into a tournament. All right, so their technical development is not where it ought to be. All right, maybe it's a flimsy excuse, but it's a reasonable one in my opinion. All right, so because of that, that is why they look the way they look. So they won the game, I think, based on just raw talent. Raw talent. It's just talent and pace, I think, that enable the Jamaican team to win the game. All right. However, I think, though, that given that they have played 2 games thus far, they have a game against Canada, going into the round of 16, I think 3 to 4 games is enough to kind of get some sort of system structure going on, and they look to be a little bit unfit. And I always have a problem when people don't perform because they have poor conditioning. You should never. The one thing, and I want to say this, right? I'm going to do a presentation, and maybe I can start by giving it there. And I want to say this to Jamaican players. I'm going to do a series of videos about you are not stars, but you're headed to stardom. You are not stars, but you're headed to stardom. If your level of football, and I'm going to get back to it, if you're playing football and you want to take it to a professional level, the one thing you as a player have is your physical conditioning. You should not be allowed to play for any national team if you are not conditioned physically. If you're unfit, you should not play. I don't matter what tournament it is. I don't matter how late the notice is, because you don't need a coach to have good condition. That's up to you, the individual. So I have a hard time accepting players who are unfit on any team. When I coach, I tell my team, there's one area that no team should ever beat me, and that is conditioning. They can be more skillful, more tactical, more technical. But in terms of physical conditioning, if you outrun my team, listen, they're not going to play the next game, because your conditioning is predominantly up to you. We cannot be having people in our teams, national teams, coming in and they are given a pass to play when they're unfit. I don't matter how skillful you are. I don't matter your years in the sport. I don't matter where you're coming from. If you are unfit, you should not be included in the team. Right? So, I felt like these young ladies looked like they weren't fit to me. Like they were out of steam and out of breath. Again, these are my observations. Needs to fix. I'm going to get a couple of your comments, and then I'm going to get back to some P's. We have some breaking news that we're going to also share with you. All right. Dante says you can know a well-coached team and And this U17 team ain't one. Hall start coach Jamaica, and instantly we see signs of coach or coaching. Get better coaches. All right. Sir Minot says no excuses. The other countries didn't have COVID as well. Good point. Good point. So didn't the other nations have COVID? So why are the other nations looking more structured in their play than we are? Because they also had issues with the pandemic. I don't know. I need to check the numbers to see if our numbers and the impact of the pandemic was worse in Jamaica than in other places. I have my co-host this evening, Javan Parchment. He's here. He's joining me. He's going to be on with me this evening as we discuss some of these things. But let me get this. Game fitness is different from just training on their own. So the lack of game might be an issue. Okay, so what you mean? So you can be physically fit, but you're not game fit. So I get that. So game fitness may be an issue, though there may be. All right. So I wonder if it's game fit, because I saw like in the first half they were holding their, waist and knee and bending. Can't even go. This was like in 24th to 25th minute, but it could be that explanation. Management, it's no matter if you're fit or not. Look on. Oh, jeez. Roger, I'm not going to call it. I don't want to call any names. All right, I know what you mean. You could see a particular player in the team months ago should not have been there based on fitness, which is the same thing I'm saying. But I just don't want to call any names. All right, Roger Grant, let's avoid that out of respect for the players. Let's refrain from calling names. Let's speak hypothetically or speak without making reference the name. Right. Minot is saying that the JFF neglect the girls until tournament. And so now this is the issue. Like, Unseen, I want to ask you, right? Why couldn't we find a way of engaging because we knew, right? We knew that we qualified for the tournament for the U17, right? I know they had several like trials. Is it that the government would not have allowed it? Why wasn't there some sort of tournament or like regular practice? Because they didn't even have that they have not played a practice game. None of our recent teams have played any practice game getting into any competition, including the U17 girls. You realize that? So shouldn't the JFF had probably found a way to have them in camp playing, because you can be like Leon said earlier that you can be fit but you don't have much fitness or game fitness. Shouldn't they have had them playing some games even against a couple of the academies like a Mount Pleasant or a Phoenix Academy? You understand me? Or some of these schoolboy teams preparing for U14 or couldn't they have found, you understand, just to give, could that have been a possibility? So they would have been engaged in football heading into the tournament, not just training. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah.
Oh, well, the first thing that the JFF will say that they don't have any money. And, with money, you can get, international games and you can do a lot of things. So that's the first excuse that they will say. There is no money. They are short of cash. But I think there are ways around it that you can get these players much time and, take play off the first game at Rust. That that first adrenaline, get the girls or the boys up to par. Some persons are not, or I would say, first two games, practice match can take off that
I think we have lost Javan. right there. But so interesting times ahead. It is good to note that though I think we are behind because so I'm going to segue to the U20s. All right. So let's segue to the U20s. They are in camp now. That's a group of them, which is not the final squad. I want to emphasize that it is not the final squad because there are several professional players overseas that they're going to be bringing in closer to leaving for the tournament, who are going to be a part of the mix. But they have a group of players who are preparing, and the training so far has been going real well. Heard that the coaching staff, the head coach is Marcel Gill. All right, I have seen teams conditioned by Marcel Gill, and from what I've seen, he has been successful. Why do I say that? The Waterhouse team that he coaches, since he has been there, has not failed to be in the finals of the Premier League. His St. George's team that he coaches alongside Neville Burtis Bell has always been up there. So he has some pedigree, and there's a consistency in terms of how the teams that he has been a part of plays. If you look at how the St. George's team plays and how the Waterhouse team plays, you will see that there are some similarities, though the players are at different talent level. So at least I have that to look at, that if he can bring this into the national team, I like the play, except that I think it needs to, the speed of play, which is a general problem in Jamaica's football, need to increase. All right, so you're about just finish making a point, and because I'd segue to the U20 teams, but finish making the point you were making before you got disconnected.
That one is one.
Yeah, man.
The technical difficulties. Anyway, so what I was saying is that some players have that, they want like 2 games to be ready. You understand? So when they get those practice match in, they can get out that rust off them, get match fit and ready for the competition. So I believe that we should have, got a lot of games in, at least 5 or games in, play some teams in Jamaica, or some makeshift teams, play some boys to also some under 15 teams with the girls, and see who can get them match fit, because base fitness alone can't play football. You have to get match ready. You understand? So we need those practice games.
Yeah. And you see, like Steve James just said that the government freed up football from October. So really no excuse why the girl, the U17 couldn't have been training and playing games. Right? I know they were having camps, but they weren't actually, like I said, to have camps to select players is different from having them together playing games. And I didn't even remember that. That was from October last year, and we are in October, November, December, January, February, March. Basically, they had 6 months, to use. Romario Lawrence, who is a Portmore fan, says Maurice Gill is a okay coach. His Waterhouse team is star stud, and he's very stubborn. That old 4-4-2 not going to cut it at the highest level. Really? I don't know. I don't know Romario Lawrence, because there are players who are not stars on that team. Not only that, but he had St. George's and they did well in his time. So you have to give a man credit. Maybe okay probably is a relative term to use, but okay in comparison to who? Because if he consistently tops the JPL, wins at the schoolboy level, then you have to give him credit, right? Because there are other teams that have had star stud rosters, and they haven't done that well. For example, look at Mount Pleasant, right? You understand me? Look at Portmore a few seasons ago, and he still outshone them. So even with, you understand me, even with a star-studded roster, it takes a It takes a good people manager. You understand me? Until sometimes it's harder sometimes to coach stars, than ordinary or than quote unquote average players. You know that?
Yes, man, I know.
Because it's about management. Sometimes because stars have a bigger ego to deal with. There are certain things they may not want to do on the field.
Right.
Like if you have Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, all of these guys in this, they may not win the ultimate prize. You know why? Because the sacrifice that is required, they may not do. And the coach looks like he's not good, but it's not the coach. It's just that the management of the players. So when you have a coach can take stars, so-called stars, and manage them, then that is a good thing as well. Somebody says we're going to struggle against Honduras and Costa Rica, though. These guys are preparing for months now, and they know what it takes. I don't think they're in our zone, though. Yeah, Honduras and Costa Rica. Yeah. That's our zone. Honduras, Costa Rica, because Honduras is the actual host. And we have one Caribbean nation in there. But I want to talk to some of them. Yeah, I want to talk about. Let me just give you some stuff, right? That I want us to discuss. Now, I want to, if you have a young player, I'm going to give some P's that they need to remember, right? I'm going to give around 10 P's, because we have too many players who are in Jamaica who believe that they are stars. And so they begin to develop bad attitude and wrong attitudes on the female side and on the male side, from my humble observation. So I want you to know that if you are still in Jamaica, you are not at star level yet, but you may be heading there. All right? You may be heading there. So, here's what you need to do. You need to, if you want to rise into stardom, I'll give you some P's. Let me just give you 2 for tonight. Right? You need to be professional. You need to be professional on and off the field. That includes your deportment, right? It includes how you speak, how you conduct yourself. You have to be professional. You have to take the sport of football, if you want to go to the highest level, the same way the doctor takes his career, the same way the architect takes his career, the same way. You can tell who a nurse is by the way she carries herself. And doctors, there's a way. If you want to be a professional footballer, there is a way. You have to be professional. All right? You have to be physically prepared. Your physical preparation is predominantly in your hand. That's 2P, right? Professional, physically prepared. That's the second one. What do I mean by that, Ansi? You need to start. You may not be able to afford a gym, but you can use some concrete blocks with a bar and do your bench press and those things. You understand me? You can do sit-ups, you can do pull-ups, you can run hills. There are several things you can do. You should not go on trial and don't make it because you're unfit or because you're overweight. Your physical conditioning is up to you. If you want to go to the place of stardom, you understand me? You have to operate like that. I'm going to give you those 2 P's, and then as we go on over the weeks, we'll give you some P's. We're going to take some comments, and then we're going to share some news with you about the U20 team. All right? Yeah. Pesa says, why supporters always think they have the best answers to how a coach set up his team? Yeah, very good point. Yeah, you have to leave the coaching to the coach.
But money is man.
Yeah.
Remember fans, that's fans job, to put pressure on the coach. So they always are going to say that they are better than the coach.
Yeah. All right. Who will be Marcel Gill's coaching staff? That's a very good question, right? Unseen. So I mean, based on what my birds have seen, I know that there are some persons there. I don't know if that will be the full composition. So what I can do is tell you what I've seen. Like the birds were busy. I know at least one of the persons who work with him at Waterhouse in the goalkeeping department is there. I don't know if that means that he is the official goalkeeping coach. I know they use Warren Barrett at the senior level, and they use Clive Wedderburn as well. If this person from Waterhouse would be appointed, it would be his first appointment at that level, right? But that may be just Marcel Gill just bringing in this person as part of his coaching staff. This is part of what I think, like when you hear like Neo and these guys speak about having bylaws, it should be, those things should be outlined in the bylaws, like who select the coaching staff for a head coach. Does Marcel Gale get the opportunity to select his team, or is he given a team? What if the persons that he's given he's not comfortable with? Does he still work with them to his disadvantage? Right? What say you, Unseen?
One is, man, I think that the coach that you appoint, the head coach, should have a lot of say in who you select to be his staff. You know, a head coach don't want anybody to dictate to him who he's supposed to work with as an assistant coach. You understand me? I think he should have a say in it. Like it should be like 70% out of the 100 say. You understand? Because it's very important that the coaching staff have a good relationship, so that you ever hear the saying say, if the head of the stream dirty, the bottom most dirty man is one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there's a problem in management, there's going to be a problem on the field. So it's basically those stuff that I know quick. Who is he going to work with? Is he comfortable with these coaches? Because even though a lot of people behave professional, deep down in their heart, they have a problem. You understand me?
Yeah. There's a feedback unseen. I think I don't know what you're doing over there, but there's an unseen. Yeah. So that is it, Fresh God. In response to your question, there is a couple of personnel who works with Marcel Gale, who is there at the camp. All right. I know I've also heard a couple of names. I heard that the present head coach at Montego Bay could be playing a role. I think he has his B license. I don't know. His name is Lee Croft Letman. I don't know. There's also suggestion that they could be looking to getting a mature person in Jerome Waite, who is at St. Diego. That's what is being I heard. So like these things you don't know, which I think by now Marcel Gale should have known his team. I think when you select a coach like Marcel Gale, you know who I think if locally who would probably match with him very well. Because I've seen this person work, and I'm going to just have to use what is before me, the JC coach. And I am not calling out the JC coach because he's a former managing student, but the JC coach, I think his name is Ferguson. In his years of managing JC so far, I like what I've seen from his team, right? And I think because both of them work in the schoolboy system, it's a good combination to have. So he's somebody that I'll just throw out there as someone who could be a part of the process, seeing that we're sticking with a group of local coaches for this present tournament. And somehow I think like they kind of think the same way when they hear them speak about their footballing ideas and things. So Davian Ferguson, I think his name is a name that I'd throw into the mix as well. But you say no? Unseen?
No, he's a good coach, you know. So I work at GC Foster with girls team and the men's team. He's a good coach, and you know, with the JC team, you can see that he's really he really owns his craft and he's doing well. He also, completed his B license now, so he's eligible, licensed, and ready. And based on the rules that JFF, put out, you have to have a B license to coach any national team. So he's qualified. I don't know what they're waiting on. Get him in to work with Coach Fuzzy Gale. Young minds. Keep on learning the game, watching the game. Tactical coach. So I think he should be one of them with Fuzzy. With Fuzzy. Also, I think that Fuzzy should also get a video analyst. This is very crucial.
Yeah.
Very crucial.
I'm still getting the feedback.
You hearing it now?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know, but I getting it. It's gone now. Oh, you're muted. Yeah, I agree with you though that he should get the video analyst. And listen, there's a video analyst that I know that listen. All right. If anybody from the JFF, all right, watches this channel, or anybody associated with people from the JFF watches this channel, there's a Jamaican. He runs a platform called M10 Football. Look at the work he does. Listen, remember, it is to do the work he does, you need specific kind of gadgets. He uses outdated, not the right and an outdated gadget to produce what he's producing in terms of breaking down the game. There will be the Nations League and U17 and the senior team. So I don't know how many video analysts, but this is a time when I think this person's skills can be used to enhance the football. And Mr. Gale, if you're listening, and maybe you don't, I think M10 Football is somebody that you could look at his work. He's normally on these platforms as well. And I know he works with a couple of schools. And he has done work with Premier League clubs where he has analyzed stuff for them and sent to them. And he also works with schools. So he's already here doing it. I think he's somebody that they could look at because he's already doing it. You understand me? I don't know, if what you think on that one, unseen, and then we'll go to...
Yeah, man, M10 do a lot of work, saw him break down, a lot of teams, especially in the World Cup qualification with Jamaica, showing up our mistakes that we made and why the mistake is making and what we could do to stop, those mistakes. So he's doing a wonderful job. People in the comment section, you can go over there and look at his work on YouTube, and he's on Instagram, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm probably going to look at one of the games in the Premier League this week, probably like the Mount Pleasant versus Dunby Holland game, and I'm going to let him break it down for people and kind of show you his work. I'm going to ask him if he could do that and do a video on that. You understand me?
Is that game coming on TV?
I suspect so because it's one of the Sunday games, so I think so, and there's a double header. I don't know, because this whole schedule is crazy.
So how is he going to break down that game if it's not a TV game?
Well, let's see, because remember, you don't need to watch the entire thing on TV. You just need to get 4 of their attacks, 4 of their defensive setup, and all of those things. Because you can do it from shots and clips.
One is one. I want to answer Rob Smith's question.
Okay, let me just take this one, and then we'll get down to Rob Smith because I was going in order, right? Kido Taylor Hart can't play U20s, Roger, and I think Omari Hutchinson. From what I've heard, contact has been made with him and there is strong interest and he could be in the team, from what I've heard. So that's a good shout out, Roger Grant. But go ahead, Rob. You said Rob Smith has a question that you want to answer, and then I'll come back up to some those that have this one.
Yeah,
See,
all right.
the feedback on see.
Hold on. Look, I'm going to put in my headset. Hold on.
Yeah.
One time man is one. I'll get my headset.
Yeah. Travis. Let me just, all right, so Unseen answer that. Travis, management thought that big names coming in for U20 this week, and where are they? That's why when I'm talking, have some respect. Anybody on this platform, I don't know, like some of these people. Listen, whoever assigned you guys to work, tell them the management is the wrong one. So I'll take this one comment from you. I'll take this one comment and I'll say what I've said on several occasions. The players who are professional will not come into a training camp. What they're having now is a training camp. After the training camps, they are going to select some players, and those players will be mixed with some of the professional players who are out. That's what I've always said. That's what I continue to say. I don't know when. Tell me which day and which video I did when I said that big names are coming in. I called up to yesterday. I did a video. I called the name of the players who was there, and the ones who were from overseas, one from Atlanta FC, one from Germany. So I don't know what you're talking about, Travis, but just because out of respect, I'll take that comment because it is not so, and respond to it and then allow Unseen. But I will not respond to any of these things that don't speak to the truth. All right? Go ahead, Unseen, with Rob Smith's comment. You want me to take some more? All right, let me take a couple more comments. All right.
Better now?
Yes. Yeah, man. Rob Smith. No, I'm not giving away any pounds. That's better.
Yeah, my Rob Smith question.
I think Roger is talking about the players. That them. I'll link Mr. Chin and ask him. No, I'll give them. I think he's talking about the players who think that they are, they are bigger already. All right. So let me get. Where is Rob Smith's comment? Let me get it. Where is it again? Where is it?
I think it's up top.
Oh, this one right here.
Yes. License don't coach football. Right. So license don't coach football. But for you as a coach to have understanding of the game, you need to go to the coaching course to get that understanding of football. Right? So you have the D license, you have the C license, and you have the B license. Now, all of those coaching courses teach you how to coach a team, and it focus more on application of, applying a training session more than theory. All right. So when you look at, when you're looking at coaches, you want to look at their experience in coaching. When you look at any particular person you want to give a job, you also look at his education level, you look at his experience. Not true, man, is one.
Yes.
Now, if you look at Damon Ferguson education and where he's coming from and the type of, schools that he coaches and institution, whatever, he, has grown and he's doing well. He also proved that to us at JC. You understand me? He proved that to us at JC. So, I agree with you that coach license don't coach, but it helps in terms of what they can teach on the field. If you don't learn how to teach somebody or coach somebody on the field, you can't coach good. And if you look at what is happening in the Premier League now, most of the teams that are doing well are the ones that just, elevate themselves in terms of license in Jamaica. Right? One is one?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right in some essence, but I do understand when person says, for example, Jackie Walters don't have a B license. He's not less than any other coaches, I think. You have like persons like Emerson Diggy Henry. Some of these, I mean, Big Carl, you have your Frank Brown, you have your Liebert Halliman. All of these guys are good coaches and have produced a lot of good talent. But so I agree with people saying the license don't coach football game. Here's where I agree with you though, Unseen. Have you ever heard somebody, like always have people saying to me, can I drive a car? And I say you have to have a license. The first thing they say to me is that you don't need a license to drive, which is true. but you need a license to drive the vehicle on the road. If police stop it. So watch this. You don't need the license to be able to be a good coach. All right, but to coach, the system says you have to be licensed, right? You have to be licensed. So you have to work with the system. But it doesn't mean that the person with the license is the best coach. Sometimes the person with the driver's license can't drive better than the man who don't have no license, you know, because they want to practice on some truck. But you know that practicing on truck and driving truck don't mean that you can go on the road. So, yeah, I can understand people saying that you don't need it. You don't need it to be a coach, but you need it to coach.
Right.
And I think that is where we need to make the distinction. We have Sir Maxwell. He asked to jump on. I'm going to hear what he has to say. Sir.
Yeah, man is man.
Yeah, yes, Sir Maxwell. Yeah, but yeah, man. Good evening. What say you? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man. I'm here, sir.
Yeah, I the face, man.
Oh no, man. Just give me a minute here. Yeah, I'll be back. I'm on back. No. Okay. Man. So long time no see, man.
Yeah. Good while. You're all over the place, man. Your name is a very popular name in the space, so you know. I'm
Top man, the best recruiter in Jamaica, you know?
Well, I don't know. It depends. Best recruiter is very relative. You understand me? I don't know. I don't know if I want to place that tag on him right now, because while you may call him the best recruiter, the man who takes the child from maybe say, well, he didn't recruit the child, you know. So let's not get into that though. But what say you, sir?
Yeah, man. Well, no, I've been listening to you. You just dwell on the thing I mentioned with the coaching and the coaching license.
Yeah.
Well, we know that right now, one of the things that the JFF is going for, which is going to leave out a lot of the more experienced coaches, are that they are going, all of their national coaches are going to have to be coaches that have passed the CONCACAF licensing course, right? And that would leave out some of the more experienced players who you call, like the Jackie Walters, the Emerson Henry, and so on, because a number of these guys have not taken that course. But the wealth of knowledge that they have is another thing. So I don't know if the JFF, this is something I might suggest that can happen, right? We want to have younger coaches into the sphere, right? The coaching sphere, especially the national setup. But one of the things I would suggest that the JFF does is maybe even for the assistant to these young coaches, you don't have a younger coach. You have a veteran who has had, like a Jackie Walters. He has a wealth of knowledge and he has a lot of experience and a lot of things that he can give to these younger coaches, you know, stepping in, because like a Coach Gale, right? Being into this atmosphere of international football for the first time, right? It would be good to have had as his assistant and a veteran coach like a Jackie Walters, you know, or even his mentor, Never Bell. So, you know, to be there and guide him a little bit through the process, you know? Because as I said, licensing, it gives you a certain amount of experience, but it doesn't give you that wisdom that only comes through age.
All right. I don't know what I would say though. I hear you, but I don't think this, again, the system should subject our great legends like Jackie Walters, Liebert Halleman, these guys who have developed so many people, carry teams to World Cup for our country, to do a license. So I think what they should do is, because these guys have studied outside of Jamaica, a lot of them have studied football outside of Jamaica. I think in my opinion, they should be certified. because it would it like I personally think it would be a disrespect to ask like a Jackie Walters to do any coaching course to get DRC license, or to say to him you cannot coach at Monroe, or to say to Emerson Diggy Henry you cannot coach at Rossi's, or to say to Steve Buckner. These guys have developed players. I think there has to be a way in the system to certify these people for the years of service, experience, and work they have done. Unless they're going to make them like a coaching committee where all of these experienced coaches sit on to create curriculums and stuff like that. That is my take on it. Yeah. To me, that's me. I can't see, and I think this was alluded to earlier. Like you can't, like in school, right? So there are some teachers who never went to like GC Fosters, and so they had the diplomas based on how the schooling system were, and they were teaching in the school. Some of them are like, they're not retired, but they are still in the school system. To say to them, you can't teach unless you have a degree, when they have been in the school system for 30 years, producing kids who do well. I don't know. Yeah. Because it's not like they're planning, because they're in retirement basically, offering service. It's not like they're planning, and it's not like these guys want to travel and coach and all of those things. They still want to stay in their little zone for development. You understand me? I'm not sure how long you see Jackie Walters coaching or you see Liber Tallyman. So to tell them to go back and do stuff to certify themselves, I don't know. So that is my, I don't know what you think, Unseen. I don't.
Man, I think there should have be, one of the persons in that CONCACAF thing teaching some of these young coaches. You understand? I think JFF should have a program where they should have been in one of those, things teaching.
That is what I think. I think some of these older guys should have been like working with Andrew Peart to help teach the course.
But sometimes you have to look on what they want to do too. If they want to do it, if they were approached, none of us know that maybe JFF approached them and they turn it down. We don't know,
Oh, okay.
So we can speculate and say, this is the way it should go, right, leader?
All right. Listen.
Look,
I am not saying that the coaches. Listen. Hold on, leader. Hold on, leader.
Some of these young coaches. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man. So let me just say this, people. I am not saying that the coaches should not be certified. All right. Please, just hear what I'm saying. All right. Let us not do this tonight. Everyone needs to be certified. I use the hypothetical situation where even if a big driver used to drive big trucks, if he's going to go on the road, he needs to have a driver's license. Though he's an experienced driver, he still needs a driver's license. I am saying they still need certification. These guys have gone all over the world and done courses that are probably higher than what is in the present system, right? Why do they need to go back through all of that when they may not even be in coaching long enough to use it? Why not use their wealth of knowledge as part of the group that certifies people? I don't understand how that is saying that. You understand what I'm saying, Unseen?
one, I believe that there should be one of the teachers, in the JFF who carry out the courses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with some other young person, understudying them. But if me, as I said before, we don't know that they weren't approached.
Well, maybe a good example is like people like Leon Bailey. Not Leon Bailey. Usain Bolt and the Shelley, they get what you call honorary doctorate.
Right.
What it means is that they did not complete all the course of study in a particular field. Couldn't it be that some of these veteran coaches be given honorary certification
in football
for the year
the work of service?
These so you're, but somebody saying they think that this should be considered for these coaches. Let me hear what let me get a couple of comments and then you guys can respond to it. Mannings understand the game changing a lot. However, they should be part of the JFF technical committee to help with mentoring. Exactly, sir. That's what I'm saying, Coach Barris. It appears you are trying to justify the accomplishment of coaches because they have no license. License are the minimum standard for any discipline. Can one be a doctor or lawyer without a license?
No, sir.
No, there you go, sir. So they need, they need license. All right. Big up Eddie Gouda. All right. So maybe it's to give them maybe if he had licensed coaches Jamaica football but further along, look at the countries which have most license, that is Spain, and the standard of their football. All right.
Yeah.
We are not fighting against licensing the coaches. That we are saying that the coaches needs to be certified. We are talking about the coaches who have been coaching the football. All right, remember Jamaica had a U17 team that went to the World Cup. Jackie Walters and Liebert Halliman were instrumental in that. Most of our accomplishment in the football were with some of these coaches. So even if you said that the football was bad, they were able to they say that, give it to you. Some of the best footballers in our country came through the coaching of some of these guys, the older coaches. Some of the players who ended up in the 1998 World Cup, who were well developed, came through these guys' coaching. All I'm saying is for you to say to them at their age, Jackie Walters is what, almost 70 odd. To say to him, you need to go and get a D license for you to be recognized as a coach in Jamaica. Personally, I think that is wrong. If you think it is okay, that's fine. All right, but coaches need to be certified. I am not against the certification of coaches. I just believe these veterans should be given honorary certification for the years of coaching in the business. All right, so we're talking about the coaches for the U. Sir Maxwell, so we're suggesting that maybe a Davian Ferguson, Jerome Waite.
Hey, Rob Smith, I did a bad still now is on.
Yeah, man, that's all right. But if a man been a doctor for 30 years, you can't stop it.
So we are those players now.
As on courses.
So let me give. So he's asking me where those players. Christopher, you're talking about. Hold on. You're talking about Fabian Davis, Christopher Dawes. You're talking about the Ricardo Fullers. You're talking about the Jermaine Johnsons. You're talking about these guys. Where are they now? They're all retired from football. They all did well. These guys, the Altiman Butlers, the Leon Juvenile Minot, all of these guys went minor league and those things. Some of the names, the Hector Wright, the Theodore Whitmore, the Winston Anglin, they developed them. So that's where they are. The same Boris Johnson in the group work with some of these coaches, coach him. The Frank Brown coach them. So are you saying that these coaches, they should be seen as people who, because they never had the B license, C license, they were never coaches? We can't deal with people like that. I'm saying that every coach needs to be certified. All coaches need to be certified. These are veterans. They are not in it.
The problem, how I see it, is that right now, we have a number of these coaches that used to take the various JFF level 1, etc. So they have, I think most of the coaches have that. But the problem is in those days when you had those various JFF level 1 and so on, you just went to the courses and you didn't have to take a test. What I would suggest they probably do is have like an updating for some of these coaches, right? Because there are certain things that would be beneficial to them to know, because they don't know everything. Because every now and again, if you are in any form of academia, you need to do a refresher. So nothing is wrong with making the person do a refresher and want their face, but not through the entire thing. I don't think a coach that has been able to coach up to the highest level, carrying a team to a World Cup, you're going to ask him to do all of the basics. You may be asking him to do certain sections of the course. You understand? Yeah. That's how I would see.
I think Coach Barry is trying to. But let me also say this. Do you know that if a doctor isn't practicing, right, he's still called Doctor so and so, even if he hasn't done the upgraded courses, he's still recognized as a doctor. What I'm saying that we should not remove the recognition of coach from these guys because they never did no D license, C license, and no B license, right? But all coaches now need to ensure that they get certified because it is necessary. So we are not against the certification of the coaches. We are saying the veteran coaches who have been a part of the thing for so long, to have them to go back through this when like let me listen to the names that I'm using, like Jackie Walters, who is almost 80 years old. To say to him, for you to be recognized as a coach, you need to go and do it. No, that's what I'm saying. It is, let's bring all our new coaches through it because they are going to be in the system. But there must be some recognition for the people who, and don't tell me that if they were good coaches or football, we qualified for a World Cup with some of these people in the system. René Simoes was not the only person that was instrumental. We act like René Simoes was the only person. There were players that were being built up in the system. He came and he found players who could control and pass the ball. So even if they were not the best coaches, even if we have never had any coaches, the truth is they set a foundation with the minuscule knowledge. All right. All right. Sir Boris, you're trying to call. You can call back because yeah, man, you can shout back. We just connected the calling. But Sir Maxwell, a lot of persons trying to find out what is going on. There's a listen. I want to say to the vloggers, right? There is a major issue because I don't want to digress into the whole coaching thing. I want to stick to what we have. So let me just say this because there was a major observation where vloggers are being barred from certain things in terms of the sport, being able to cover and speak to. All right. There was an experience with the U20 teams. So my thing is that, listen, we're all in the same space, right? And we have to speak the truth, be unbiased, advocate, but at the same time, we have to maintain balance and professionalism, because what it will do, it will affect our ability to provide credible information. All right? Because I was told of an experience that I'm not happy that it went down that way and it included persons in the space. And I want to use this opportunity to just say, listen, let us be a little bit more responsible in terms of how we manage the information and how we deal with the information in the eyes of the public, because sometimes it affects the networking and the relationship, right? And since I don't even want to add anything to that, and then I'll get an update from the leader with the U20s.
We never hear you saying I was talking to somebody. Sorry about that. Repeat.
No, I was talking about the vloggers, right?
Okay, the
Yeah.
vloggers.
Yeah, so the point I'm making is that, and Cranky just made a very valid point. If we say that we are official media, you have to operate. We have to operate like official media.
Yeah, and smart too also.
And smart, because like I said, there was an incident cited at with the U20s that it is not pretty. All right.
Right.
And this is not the first. There have been similar events. So we must be mindful. All right, so let's get to.
Our Rob Smith said, "Boss banana."
No, I don't know what Rob Smith talking about. Rob Smith want to get people in problems, you know. Big up Pagan 180. CC Sports Lab, bless up. I heard that Jerome Barkley is in the U20s, man. And I heard that Gregory Cousins is in college, but he will be included as well. I hear that, but he's in college. He went off to college, but he will be included in it. Yeah. I heard that Jerome Barkley from KC and Watson from KC. I also heard that Barkley has been he has looked really good because he and Devontae Campbell playing in the same position, and that is
also Duncan McKenzie.
I heard that. Yeah, everyone. I mean, the reviews on Duncan McKenzie has been glowing. Like they said that so far from what the birds have seen, and you know, he has been like top quality, top quality.
And the player from CC Carnal.
Kamali Powell as well is the next one. Who was at Sutton, and then he moved over to Germany, and he's here now. I heard that he's doing really well. And there's a player from Atlanta United FC, I think Nigel Francis, heard that he's doing well as well. You understand me? So it's good. I heard that also I heard that what is his name? Burkett. Because Burkett was Brian Burkett, right? Who was a standout at the junior levels, like under 12, went to Manchester United, couple other places, had an opportunity to go, I think, to Spain, but his parents thought that he was too young at the time to, and they wanted to at least be there with him, and that was not allowed. I heard that he is looking really good as well. So it's going to be very tough, from what I'm hearing, Maxwell, to select like just this group to merge with the other players. So
you talk about the addition to goalkeeper.
Go ahead and talk about that and see it.
I don't remember his name. You remember his name?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. And I know that they have also invited the Anthony Bennett Jr. from Harborview. Yeah, and I heard that he is the standout goalkeeper since he has come in, because he wasn't originally there. So he's like, if they were in ranking, he is number one.
Number two.
He's the only one actually.
Number two is the goalkeeper here, but his height. I think the Dintil goalkeeper is Hutchinson is number 2. That's what I'm hearing. And then Bernard from Mona is number 3. Yeah.
What's the feedback on the youngster from Waterhouse? I think he's the tallest.
Oh, the Waterhouse goalkeeper? Yeah, you know, I haven't heard. Like I said, what I heard is that
I don't see any Waterhouse goalkeeper on the list.
Yeah, man, he's the Ricardo Watson. He's not actually. He's moving. He's in transit from one club to another, but he's listed as Waterhouse, Ricardo Watson.
Yeah. Okay. I need to check him out. But I heard about, like I said, Duncan McKenzie and a couple of those players. And I understand as well that there's a I think Boris Johnson asked this earlier. Coach Boris, you can call back, about goalkeepers, because they're trying to find, I think, the goalkeeping department, like this would be the first time probably But I think we need to go overseas. That's me. I think if we can find
for a fact, there are certain positions that we must get help from overseas.
So I think we need I don't know if anybody in the diaspora know a goalkeeper, but we need a goalkeeper, I think, to bolster the squad. That's at least one position that we need somebody in. So if you know anyone out there, I have a list of names of persons who, let me see, because I have some names, of persons who are in process in terms of documentation and those things, and contact to an extent have been made. So let me see if I see any goalkeeper on it. I doubt it. And that is part of the problem we're having. But go ahead, Maxwell.
The problem this team has, goalkeeper. Biggest.
Commitment is the next thing too. For the under 20.
Commitment in terms of
overseas. I think some of them may choose other country.
I don't think it's so much that. Well, normally at youth level, you have more than enough people. The problem is they have people coming to the fore. Most times, every other they go for.
I'm going to tell you something, though. I heard that there was a Queen's Park goalkeeper, and I am understanding that the man changed his mind recently, man. The man was supposed to come, man. Hey, listen, I think like we do, people, I think sometimes a lot of our vlogs are watched by people in England. And when they hear us call some names and talk glowingly about them, they go and approach the players. Honestly, I think that happens. Because this goalkeeper, from my understanding, was like definitely coming on the rock. He was going to come on the rock. And all of a sudden the man changed. So I am wondering seriously if when we have these discussion on these platforms, like people in England here who are involved in the football and say, hey, they're planning on making a move for this player. I'm wondering if that happens. I can't prove it, but I'm wondering.
It does. It's seen. They monitor the programs, And I think even now, more than before, they keep him a sharp eye out because, look here, even for some of the players that we might not be, the names come up. But right now, all I need to do is invite them maybe even to a camp, whether or not that player will have in the back of his mind that, they might be calling him at some stage. They more than likely might not, never call him. But the interest that goes to them, they'll say, okay, let me hold on, and they'll wait.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, but can we compete though? Can we compete with these other nations?
We can, because we can offer them a quicker transition to a senior program. Most of these young players, they want to play in the international league at youth level, but all of them want to get into the senior program. And if we can offer them, like especially for the next campaign, now is the time to go after those players, because seeing that there are 3 spots available, 3 of the big guns are out. It's an easier sell now to say, well, look here, it's going to be in the CONCACAF region. We are with the right program, be one of those top 3 teams to go to that World Cup. It's an easier sell, and we need to hammer home, because a lot of those players, it's not that they want to play for England, but they want to play for a team that is going to the World Cup. That's why Canada has managed to pull players that we could have gotten, because some of them felt that Canada was a better vessel to carry them to the World Cup than Jamaica was. So we have to look at that.
Yeah, I think this point by Cranky is more important. That we have to be covert in our recruiting, given the war for talent. I'm gonna tell you why. If I were in England and I hear that Jamaica looking for a player, I could have one conversation with him and change his mind. Like I said, listen, how are you going to travel to go here? Do you know that when you travel go to that country and you come back here, you're going to miss your club game? And when you miss your club game, you're probably going to rub the bench. You don't want that to happen to you. You know that they're wrong outside. No, I'm just telling that. If
what is one?
Eh?
Hey, you know, easy, you know.
No.
They give them one word for self take over play them, you know.
Yeah. Check it out. The coach for the team has a talk with them, not even the FA, you know. The coach for the same team will have a talk with them and say, no, hold on, I think England will call you. And then 4 or 5 years later, you see nothing of that. I can name several players that has happened to.
What happened to them? They were told that they would have been called?
The coach, and then you hear the coach, they'll hear that, oh, interest is there from Jamaica. Then the coach will come out, the coach for the team, and say, no, he feels that he will want to pledge his international allegiance to Britain, and he'll wait on a call. The coach for the team, not the FA. So a lot, because the coach for the team wants them to remain, because most coaches will say, yes, okay, it's nice for them to go and play, but a lot of them, when the reality hits them, they don't want to lose the players for how long to travel over the Atlantic and then coming back. So most times, you know, when these players are to get international call-up, it's the agents who try to push it, not the coaches of the team. A lot of time the coaches of the team sometimes sideline the players as they come back, you know. And another thing that they have doing now is that certain players, once they reach a certain stage, and they are going to sign them to new contracts. Because that's another problem, you know, that a lot of people don't understand. That when these players are going to sign new contracts, right? Sometimes the club will say, oh boy, you're playing international football, we're going to lose it for X amount of matches, and they'll use it against the player. Sometimes they'll have the player sign an agreement that they are going to retire from international football. These are known things that happen.
Yeah, but listen, I mean, I think Jamaica can still get the players. We have to be wise. Listen, here's the thing. If you play for us at U17 and U20, you could still play for whomever. It doesn't hinder you from representing them. Come out. They're not going to call. Come out and try it for us. We are guaranteed. I think that regardless of what any other country has to offer, if we put together properly administrative, coaching, player, functioning federation, and football, then we become more attractive. And I'm saying that because, listen, when if you're going to buy property, when you look at the architecture and the aesthetics of the place, you say, wow, without even entering into the house, you love how the place looks. I think people need to be attracted to what football looks like in Jamaica. And I think that will be the biggest pull. But, you know, I think I found a goalkeeper unseen. Yeah, he keeps her ready, you know. Name Boyz. But me don't want to call out the name, them because next thing we'll call the name and somebody go rush him and say, no,
that should call the name.
Yeah. No, I look a goalkeeper already, you know. Can keep for Jamaica. Good goalkeeper too. Born 2003. Tall. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I said. Yeah.
Does a youngster like that now, we have to move very quickly because it's not like, let me show you one of the things I see it as, you know. It's not just identifying the players, you know, because from quite a while now, on these various programs, we have been identifying these players and we're saying, okay, but we checked? One of the things we need to start doing now is what exactly is your Jamaican connection? How deep is it? Is it the father, mother, grandparent, or great grandparent. Once it's great grandparent, they're out, right?
Let me say,
So
let me
even
say
though there are
this.
ways to get it through the great grandparent, but it's very difficult, and especially in the situation where a lot of our people that go to England, sometimes they don't go very straight. So because they're not going there straight, it's an issue because there's even a player in England now that it's alleged that he made an interview and it's mentioned that he was born in Jamaica. But it seems that they have it that he's born in the UK. So some things might have happened that caused this. So, it's a disadvantage that we have. And one of the things we need to do is the JFF needs to have somebody in their administrative office whose sole
That
job it is, our
deals.
main
That's what
job,
I'm saying.
it is
I hope
laced with the RGD.
it's not only the RG. Listen, I think there needs to be a recruiting officer. Like there needs to be a recruiting department within the federation, and their job is to recruit. You put together a recruiting plan with step 1, step 2, step 3, with different tiers: Premier League, Championship, leagues below, youth, male, female. And I think you need a comprehensive recruiting team that comprises of persons in the States, persons in the Americas, and persons in Europe, and persons locally. And every month that group's supposed to meet and sing. There has to be, like, in modern football, just like analyzing game is important, recruiting is important. You understand me? You understand me? You understand me? I'm saying, get some good minds. Get 8 persons, and please get people who can travel go foreign. Nobody recruit 6 persons from Jamaica who can't even fly go England and see them go watch TV. We need people who can move in and around Europe, move in the Americas, right? That's what I'm saying. That find some citizens over there who are into the sport. I know that there's a guy connected to Manchester United that they say he has some Jamaican connection. I don't know who, but I know he's connected to Manchester. Yes.
Look here. One of the things we're not using, our biggest asset are all of those former players who played for Jamaica, who are there. A lot of them, are very much out there trying to get talent. A lot of people don't know. Marlon King, he goes out there, he does look for talent. You have guys that you need to have a network with these guys there now and use them to help to tap into that. So when they give back a report to the couple people here in Jamaica, and then now they start to make to get the documents together.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. The truth is, here's what our problem is, because part of the big issue, is it, like, these platforms and people, including me, we serve. There's a major advantage and there's a major disadvantage, because this is where the recruiting for our football is at. This is the primary place. We are the only nation that deals with our recruiting in the space for vloggers or on YouTube. All right? No. And I'm saying that it is unprofessional. It is unprofessional, right? What should happen is that the recruiting is happening behind the scene. By the time we get even players' names, all of the foundational work has been done so that nothing interferes with the process. By the time some of these players' names get called and speculations and innuendos and all of those things, it can turn off the system. You understand me? It can mess up the thing, or it cannot add to it. And you don't know how much it has added to and how much it has taken away from. So, but it happens because there is no recruiting arm. within the federation. Well, let me say it, that I know of. Let me just put it, because there may be, but I'm saying, let me put it that way, please, that I don't know.
Okay,
Who
let me give
is
JFF a
Bernard?
look. You know, that's the youngster that is alleged. He was born in Jamaica, but there are certain discrepancies there. But what I'm saying, let me give the JFF
Oh,
a tip.
this is the guy.
You see,
His
when you
name
go
is
into
Jamal Jarrett. He has been signed as a scout for Manchester United. He was born in Jamaica. Yeah.
Okay.
Jamal Jarrett. That's his name. Thank you, Eagle Republic. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. What I was saying, let me give JFF a little free advice. So when you go into scout a player, the first thing is you don't make nobody know. You keep it very quiet. You deal with everything, right? You do all of the paperwork and everything. And the only time that anybody is supposed to know that this player is basically going to be here is when that the letter goes to the club just before that they will need him to basically represent. You deal with all his paperwork before, quietly, get it done. And one of the things that we need to do, make the players understand that getting the passport does not affect them, but at least having the passport makes it possible that when we are ready for you, you can make the choice. It don't make sense to say a player to say, yes, I want to come. And then it takes him almost a year. By that time now, the UK now, having him on their radar, public thing, it's going to affect everything. You understand? And they could back. And that kills it. You do your thing very quietly. You get everything done, the paperwork, everything done. Stop putting it on the players to deal with all of these paperwork. It's not as simple as that, as we might say, just get a passport.
Somebody just asked, if you think like such secret can be kept by Jamaicans.
Master, easy.
Hey, when I go for a player, trust me, I've gone for players from certain teams, and the only time that person know that player is playing against is playing is when they see them suit up and coming and they feel to play against them. I remember twice I probably almost gave a good friend of mine, Mr. Dennis, a heart attack. Twice when a player run out that he thought he had in his camp.
Yeah.
So you keep it in quiet. It can be done.
Management, has the current coach recruited a single player? This is all right. I want to know, like, this is a very good question, right? But Cranky, out of respect for Coach Hall, well, let me say this. Who is the current coach? Maybe we should start there. Who is the coach of the national team?
Nobody knows, has it?
Nobody knows. Because there has been no official appointment.
It's just speculation.
It's just speculation.
And hope and pray that a certain
does he have any authority or autonomy to go and recruit, seeing that he has not been appointed? And was it wise for him to do it when he was interim, seeing that he would have gone to a player, asking a player to commit to a country that he was an interim coach for, that he's not sure if he was going to be the long-term coach of. And then if he doesn't get the job, the player says, well, you asked me to come and play. I played 2 games and now you're not the coach. So, I don't know, Cranky, but could it be that the coach wants to ensure that there is something official? Because there are certain persons who are ethical that way, They are not going to engage people unless they're in the position. That's a moral way, right? But I have not received any official communication or read anything where an appointment has been made. I know there is a suggestion that that's the way it's going, so I don't know. But if somebody else knows, you can tell me. Branger says no one at Man United can play football. Have you been watching? We do not need any player from Man Go ahead. Hold on a second. We have a call coming in. Just don't miss your thought. Hold your thought. Good evening, caller. Welcome to I Am Sure Sport.
Mornings, man. I sick like a dog. I'm going to call your program.
Yeah.
So Manning's man.
Yeah.
Why are you making excuses? Why are you making excuses for the coach? Or you deem the person who is not sure of his position? So let me just say this: he has been an assistant coach for the national team throughout the campaign, right? He was the one who had the engagement, who was responsible for engaging, sorry, all the overseas players, or at least the English-based players. He's supposed to have contacts in England, because that's where he lives. He's part of the QPR program. It's very concerning to me that that person in that role, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, has not recruited one player. That to me is amazing.
Yeah.
So when I hear the leader talking about past players should recruit players, which I don't disagree with the concept, but if the person's part of the national program, who is a past player, has not recruited one player, I am befuddled, Manning's man. It makes so I don't want to hear anyone making excuses for the coach. The media should ask him that question, which is, if you want the program to move forward, if you want to be successful, part of what the JFF should be assessing is how well does he influence the environment he operates in? How has he brought players in? Is he able to liaise with those players and allow players to be successful? If you're the assistant coach of the national team and you coach a team for a number of games, and England is a source of talent, and you have influenced one player to that national team, I am challenged whether or not I should have you as part of my program.
What about Rob Smith's question? Because he's saying, is he being paid to recruit or to coach?
Rob Smith, I don't want to disrespect you, Rob Smith, but Rob Smith, every single blogger, every single person, I try to recruit player. Sorry, man, I'm playing with you. Every single blog, I try to recruit player. So if you're part of the program, you want the best talent that you want to harness to allow the program to be successful. So saying he's not being paid to recruit player, that's what coaches do. What do you think Saltgate and his team do? They don't have the problem we do, management, which people don't seem to realize. Our talent is very distributed across the globe, right? It's not in close proximity. Saltgate doesn't have to go to America to watch talent or go to Italy to watch talent. We may have a few like Abraham at Roma or Timori at Milan. He doesn't have to watch them. He's seen them at Chelsea before. He know what they are. He probably track their progress. He's probably sent one scout to Italy to do so. We have a litany of players in England and in other countries, and now more of the US nowadays that we need to source from. So we don't have, we don't have a litany of people to go out and source talent. That's why, as you indicated, we need a comprehensive, well-defined, well-situated recruiting program to allow us to go out and source talent, bring them in, and blend them with locally developed players. But my question around the coach is, Paul Hall needs to be held accountable. If you're part of the national, you're an ex-player. So someone was saying ex-player should do it. But when you were an ex-player part of the program, why weren't you helping to bring talent to Jamaica? You're part of the program, you bring no talent. You know how long you played since '98? Have you ever brought one player into the program? That's amazing since you were part of the program and you coached for the last 4 or 5 years.
That's a good point. But let's hear what leader has to say, and then let me just take Eagle Republic comment. Hold on. Eagle Republic says Paul Hall is still on probation. He will show his true colors if or when he gets the job. All right. Go ahead, leader. And then
Carla, look here. We have to look at some facts here, The first fact is people are assuming Paul Hall. Paul Hall I think the JFF does have him as the coach, but the personal terms, that is the thing that has to be sorted out. But look here, you have to look at the facts of the situation, Paul Hall and a lot of other players have recommended players to the various national coaches before. So you can't say he has never recruited, because I have personally heard about players that Dion Bert so-and-so has recommended. But the problem is, if your national coach, whoever he is at the time, is not interested in these players, you cannot force. You understand? Because there are a number of players that have, been, told that they are interested. But the problem is, if the coach does not want them, you can't. You understand? So it's one of those problems that you have. So, and the other next thing that you have to look at is that Paul Hall is only going to be the first practice match that we're having. It's going to be very, very crucial on how he can negotiate with players
Hey, leader, you know, like, man,
and
make
club.
Paul Hall.
Because a lot of people haven't realized.
You know what you mentioned, leader? You know who you mentioned? You mentioned Paul Hall has been involved. You mentioned Deon Burton. You don't mention Paul Hall. You can't.
I can't say. No, hold on. I gave you one name.
Exactly.
I can tell you Marlon King also. No, well, I can tell you Marlon King also. I don't know all of them that do it. But I know Marlon King has. And Deon Burton has.
Leader, all right, let him.
You make my point. You're making my point. You're making my point.
No, I'm not. Because I don't know all of them, but I know.
No, I think what they say, Frankie, and I think Fresh God is asking the same. Hold on, leader, because I think Fresh God is asking the same question, and I think someone earlier is, how do you know that he hasn't recommended players and they have been rejected? Which is the question, because I think what leader, and I think, like I said, Fresh God has it, is that maybe during different coaches, people have always recommended players at all levels, and either the coach or the federation or the team manager refused those players. So it would look like there were no players being recommended by the Joby Makanoff. Because I'm here wondering, like, I agree with you, Cranky, because here's what. How can, like, a Joby Makanoff, Darrell Moore, who played for Jamaica, have a player in their academies or in their team that can play for Jamaica, and they don't reach out? Is it that they are reaching out? Like, these are some of the things they probably need to find out. Could it be that they are reaching out, but the players either
they do reach out, Mannings. They do.
Well, I don't know, you know. So that's you understand, Frankie? I don't know.
I know they do.
I understand.
But the problem has always been, if whoever is in charge of the hierarchy is not buying into that, you have a problem.
All right, go ahead now, Cranky.
Now, what I was saying, management, if your influence was pervasive, if your recruiting were pervasive, eventually it gets in the news, management. That's what normally happens. When we get out there and people start getting concerned about you, they start looking at who you're recruiting. I haven't heard anything about anyone concerned about Paul Holland's recruitment of English-born players who have the probability or possibility of playing for Jamaica. I've never heard anything. Now, I would agree with you. It's possible he has recruited players, he has recommended players. But if you're an assistant coach, you must have some influence. And again, management, I say this management, which is a very distributed way of the team operating. He was the one responsible for engaging with all the English-based players. Right? He was the primary contact. Right? The local coach had no contact with English-based players.
Yeah, no, leader. That statement was made. You have to give Cranky that, because the statement was made that Paul Hall's primary job was to speak to the English players.
Liz.
That was an official statement made. That wasn't that. That's what I'm here saying.
Yeah, that's official. That was the official statement. Eh?
Yes.
So liaise or speak to the same thing. So liaise or speak to the same thing, really, though.
To them. But the problem with that is that
you know what is funny though? If you use that word, you're involved. Better we use speak, because if you use liaise, you're involved. It sounds like more speaking and engaging.
No. Management. He was the primary contact management. Primary contact. It wasn't liaise used. It was no sophisticated work on liaise. It was the primary person who was responsibility for engaging, communicating, to relating to the English-based players. That was not a misnomer. That was not a mistake. That was officially said. So when I want leader to try to be nice it up now and reposition it, that's official. The point I'm trying to make, management, is this. If we want to get the best players, then the coach is one of the primary recruiters. Yeah. Now, he may have a structure. He may have scouts. He may go send them out, but he's the one going to sit down with them, assess the players, attend some games physically, look at tapes. He's the primary recruiter. He's the closer. So he may not be the one doing the initial scouting, but he's the closer. I ain't Paul Hall recruit nobody or close nobody. So maybe I'm mistaken, but I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
Frankie, so you have to keep those things quiet. Okay?
Look,
No, go on.
well, Frankie, like I said
Because
to you, I think we have had this conversation, and here's my thing. Very important is what happened in May, because the Premier League will be over, the Championship will be over, so MLS will be going on, USL will be going on, and the local Premier League going on. So the league that we can get the most players out of are the leagues in England. All right.
Yeah, and
I want to see who gets. Yeah.
Management for certain players, they should not play against Catalonia.
Manning,
For certain who we want, who we think are Premier League quality players, we should play them in the Nations League so we can lock them up.
Okay.
Don't let
Okay.
Southgate get no stiff for your players that we're trying to do. Certain players who you know have certain capability, you don't have to see them playing friendly.
Oh, okay. You
bring
just
them
call
in the
them
Nations
straight.
League,
Okay.
You get the papers and you lock them up.
So, like, for example, say, like, just let's put a name, hypothetically speaking, say, like a Demarai Gray. He doesn't need to go and play in Catalonia.
No.
Okay.
No, we don't need to see him play. We bring him to the Nations League. He get his papers. We lock him up after 2 games. He can't play for England anymore. We're good to go.
Okay. Eddie,
Don't let Southgate go to come to his ears and say, you know what, you have a chance to play for England, so hold off a little bit. Don't make a decision yet.
Eddie Guna just said, Brain Drain says that you're using your last breath to talk football, and then Eddie Guna says that he has one question for you. He says, ask the Arsenal owner if you're signing Gabriel Jesus.
I've said it. That's a digress conversation, management. But I've said to my compatriots in England, I've had a conversation with them, which is Jesus is a very good player, very versatile, can play out wide in the middle. My problem is he's not a prolific goal scorer.
He's good for the press, though.
Very, very good. No, his goal ratio is very, very good. But the problem is I haven't seen him play in the 9 and put the ball in the net on a consistent basis. When he plays for City, he does fairly well. But I struggle. We need to compete with Liverpool and Man City, so we need the best players. Nunes may be better, or whatever his name from Uruguay. I'm not sure Jesus is it. I would have Jesus as the second forward who can play out wide, but that's my primary strike.
All right. You hear that Eddie Guna, he's not going to spend so much money. He's just getting one. You understand me?
Well, no, he won't be more than 40 million because it's last year of his contract, right? His contract expires next year, so he won't be more than 35 mil.
Yeah.
He's a good player to buy. He probably won't cost more than £100,000 per week. He does sound like a lot of money, but not for footballers in England. But not my primary striker. Secondary, yes, not primary.
Yeah. All right. Blessing. All the best. Hope you feel better, Cranky. Yeah, man.
All right, bless.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Cranky there. So it's a very important question. I mean, what as a coach? And I mean, not making excuse, but it is like how much can he do, given that, like I said, personal term? Because if what you're saying is what it is, leader, right? And the personal terms have not been agreed, maybe because he's not satisfied with them. You understand me? And what if that has to do with he doesn't agree because he's going to get a pool and he doesn't get to create his own pool and he wants to be in charge of the pool? You understand me? So it depends on what the personal terms are. It would probably affect him talking to players because, for example, if part of the personal terms is we will give you a pool of players and he says, no, I want to create my own pool. And that's a point of disagreement. As an example, this is just right? Why would he then, in that scenario, still go and try and engage people if that is the disagreement in terms of arranging personal terms?
no, man is man. Okay, what I can tell you that I know for a fact is that Paul Hall has spoken to players that we are supposed to be seeing coming up within the Nations League / probably Catalonia, right?
Okay.
So I know that he has engaged players, right?
Okay.
One of the things, though, a lot of people you mentioned the local league, but I don't know if the little birdie hasn't dropped the list at your door. You're aware that about 18 or so local players are under consideration to be going to that match, right?
in what's his name? Yeah,
Cambodia, yes. You're aware of that list?
18 local players.
It might
Out of 20, out of
list
23.
went out. Huh?
18 out of
No, what
23.
I'm saying, no, it won't be all 18, but those are named. There's a list out there of about 18 or so players that are under consideration to go to the match.
Hey, listen, all right, so you have to make sure you say the right word, because you're just like that emotional damage.
Look at
the emotional damage, that way. You can't say it that way. You can't do that. You can't.
No,
you can't.
The letter said these players are under consideration to be part of the team that's going to be playing Catalonia. That's exactly what the letter did say.
All right, but what I'm saying is that why? Like, all right. So of course I'm not a coach. I'm just.
The names are, I think, the usual suspects. There aren't any unfamiliar names there.
If it is hold on. If it is 18 names, I don't know the usual suspects. That's what I'm saying.
The last local camp, most of the names are there. There are some that are not there, of course, but there are some that there are some players that started against Canada.
All right, so listen, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying though. Here's my position. All right. And like I said, that it is under consideration because it could be 18, and out of the 18, only 6. All right, so let's give it that. But here's my position.
It's going to be more than 6.
No, well, here's my position. All right, here's my position. This is where people who are listening to these things and people like me have a major problem. You know what the problem is? Here is it that we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity, right? To get some of the players who will not be playing any football, but just completed their season in England. We still have players playing in the local league and some probably, because I am suspecting, if you're going to look at 18, it would be the players in the top 6 who are just going into the playoffs. Why would you? Because the playoffs are going to start in June. Why would you take those players? Because it couldn't be the bottom 6 team you're going to take players out of when you have players who are coming out of championship and saying, why wouldn't we look...
The top 6.
Yeah?
I don't remember seeing any bottom names, seriously. I don't remember seeing any of the...
No, understand my point. Why wouldn't we use the opportunity? We're going to Europe. The tickets... Trust me, the tickets to this, the tickets to this it is cheaper to travel from England to Catalonia than it is to travel from Jamaica there. So to save money, it is better to use them. And why not play against the Cayman Islands and use some of the local players? Why not play against Turks and Caicos Islands? Because they're going to be playing in the B pool of the Nations League. Why not give those teams a practice game and use the local players? My opinion.
Well,
they don't disagree. Like, are you? Yeah.
Well, one of the issues I know that will also come up is that Waterhouse and Cavalier, they will be in the Dominican Republic, and depending on how both teams do, they might be there until after the 26th. Because if they don't qualify directly, they might have to stay to do that playoff that finishes on the 26th. So that's another thing there that, but primarily most of the players that I remember I saw, I think they are top 7 players from the top 7 teams.
But Max, I hear you, Max, but just hear I want you to answer to my point. Here's my point. We are in the Caribbean. We have an opportunity in Europe. Unseen, you can respond because you haven't said anything first. We have an opportunity in Europe. We hear about so many players in England and a Kaim Paris over there, other Jamaicans in other places, the Norman Campbells, the Tyreek McGee's, all of these. Hold on, just let me finish now. Let me get to the question. We have those players over there who, for them to travel, it would be cheaper. Why would we take players from Jamaica in their league, some in CONCACAF, to go and play, are just coming back to go and play all the way in Europe, when we can use the players in Europe to play in Catalonia and then play a game in the Cayman Islands, Turks and the Caicos, St. Vincent, invite Cuba, or something like that. Why we can't do it that way?
No, Manins, let's look at it. Be practical now. If we're going to be playing a match, we're going to have 23 players, so to speak, right? Can we find at least 2 to 3 goalkeepers in England right now? That's the first question. I'm just going to go at the goalkeeping situation, because right away we know the MLS USL.
We know Dylan Barnes is there, and we know there's a next one. That's 2. It's 1 game. We don't need 3.
Barnes and Lawrence Figaro. We can call the name. Lawrence Figaro is supposed to be the next one. Yes.
I don't know.
So we might have to probably carry a goalkeeper.
Why we need a third goalkeeper to play 1 match? A 1 match. It's not a series. It's 1 game. Even if one get injured, they put on the next one. It's 1 game. We don't need 3 goalkeepers. We need 2 goalkeepers.
Okay, Okay, let's move past that. And the next thing that you want to look at, we have seen this time and time again, where you invite certain players, and then, because remember now, you're going to have most of these teams, especially in the Premier League, they will have a game up to, I think, the 22nd or 23rd, right? So now you might have some players that might say, well, look here, I picked up a knock in the last game.
Talking about EPL, no man. EPL finished. The only players who would have game is if you're going to play. EPL is finished.
I checked, and it's the 23rd.
No man, the Premier League finished the 23rd. All right.
Yep.
Check. All right. The last game.
The championship. No, we're okay with the championship players, right? But the ones that might be into playoff, that's where we might have issues. But the championship, etc., we're good right there, because there we have enough of a leeway. But the premiership players, that's where we might have an issue.
All right, so let's hear from you haven't said anything yet unseen. What are your thoughts?
Well, mine is one. They always complain about money and stuff. So I think your way is a better way in terms of save money for playing fair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
it must be cheaper.
We are cheaper, we are out, you understand? But the person that deals with the logistics, well, I think it comes with a whole heap of different, answers from different parties, such as coaching staff, management and stuff like that. The person who is spending the money. Everybody have to just agreeing with one thing, so maybe that's where the problem is. Maybe that's where the problem is. But I think your way is cheaper.
Yeah, you're right. The Premier League, the last games in the Premier League is on the 22nd. The 22nd of May. Right, but the championship ends on the 7th. The championship on League One. Yeah.
Right. So I did check. So he basically saying anybody on the 22nd, they would have to be basically moving out basically next day, because 50 game is enough.
I will say this, Jamaica should earn from this game, because it is a special thing for the Catalonians. So they are hosting us, which means that normally airfare is generally covered, accommodations and stuff, and match fees are normally covered by by them.
Manens, I think JFF already collected something from Catalonia already, yeah?
Well, I don't know. One thing I don't know. I don't speak, but I don't know.
Something was collected already.
I don't know.
Listen, people, as reported by the leader. But okay, so this is
I
like,
didn't say it was a full amount, but something was collected already.
oh, so this could be the problem. The problem could be they got
That's
the
why
money.
the match had to.
All right, so the problem could be that they got the money, they probably used up the money, and I see what you mean. And so the game has to be played. So now,
Has to be played.
okay, I see. Okay. We start out the video so good. Okay, we start out the video so good. They take the fee. Okay, I think it was. I see what I mean. So maybe the money has been used up already.
Possibly.
Oh. So maybe that is why it's easier to use local players. But I don't know if that even makes sense.
No, it's not easier, you know. It's not easier, no man.
Like it's like I said, even if that case, like somebody, El Padrino, where are you? Or somebody need to tell me. I need to make sure, because I believe it is more expensive to travel from Jamaica to Spain than it is to travel from England to Spain. Somebody could check that and let me know. I think so though, because it's Europe. It's not a long flight. Because either you have to get to Spain. I don't know if there are flights, like it must be more expensive to travel to the States and travel, right? So I think it would be cheaper for the players to leave from England and go to Spain than to leave from Jamaica. So why not do that, right? Because it's the same match fee when they negotiated, isn't it the same? You understand? It's the same match. It's the same match fee for them. Okay.
Yeah.
And say you do that, and then you play. You could even play a Jamaica Select versus a Premier League All-Star game if you still want to look at local players for the Nations League. So I don't know. Somebody saying that do I say don't make them set you up. No, we're not trying to set up Mr. Maxwell. No man. We just having, I mean, he shared the information, but I didn't know that they got the money, but it made sense because the game should have been played in 2020. And it is true, given what you're saying. I think it was said that it was a major deal for them to play the game. So there was some money for real. No, that
Catalonia, it's a big match. It's a big match.
And based on what people are saying to me, it's not an easy team because
no way.
Right. So why would we and all right. So let me say this.
They can call any player from Barcelona, etc. Any player. It doesn't matter if they play for country. Anybody.
All right. All right. So here's my point. No. So we are preparing for a tournament. This is one of the games that we hear about. You obviously, according to you, there's a new coach. Why are you going to give the coach the local based players to go and play in Europe, right? Why not? And please, people know that I don't have a problem with local players, but I wouldn't baptize them in that kind of thing. And unless I'm going to go back to the, you understand me? I wouldn't take like. Give me like a young, say for example, I wouldn't bring I don't want to bring my Christopher Pearson as an example and Geminis who should be preparing for the youth. I
expect Geminis to be there now. Geminis is on the list. I expect him to be there.
I don't want to bring those guys to baptize them into that without having the East Pinnock if they're available and the Mikel Antonio and those things. I'm saying, why do that? Against a team that has La Liga players.
Yeah, Manins, let me just make somebody made a thing that is not a big match. Hey, do your research and check. Argentina has played them, right? Lots of big teams have played Catalonia. Catalonia is not look here. It's like it's an invitational team. They can invite anybody. So don't fool yourself, right? It's not going to be any walkover, right? They can basically invite any team from who is based within their region there. Okay? So I can tell you it's significant. And people have said before that if Catalonia was to pull away from Spain, it would almost be almost a death blow to Spain. A lot of their top talent are coming from that area.
Yeah, and that is what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. And listen, the only thing would make sense is if they said, listen, if they had said from long before, we're going to use this game to prepare our U20s. And they can't say that because I don't know if the Catalonians would accept that. You understand me? In other words, we arrange a game with your national team and you bring in your U20s. This is a joke thing. Especially if they
no, not U20, a U20 player. Ah.
Oh, no, because someone was suggesting.
Jimenez is only our Premier League players. I said there will be Premier League players at the match, though. There will be from the local league. We're not sure how many, but there will be some.
I would love see if I get a look in again.
That's why I'm saying that.
Who is that?
FIFA. That's why I'm saying. Listen, there has to be a game. So listen to me, and this is where now I will. Here's me advocating for the local players. I would love to see CFAS play a friendly game where the coach can get to see him. That friendly game, I think, could be arranged with one of our Caribbean neighbors in preparation for the Nations League. And you get your CFAS and your Peter McGregor. If Kaim Paris is out of season, he can come and he doesn't make the game in Catalonia. He can come and play. Who else? Joey Desert, I think his name is. So Paul can look at this player. You play against a Nicaragua, or you play against Turks and Caicos. You let them host it, and you say to them, listen, we just travel, and you cover accommodation and you give us 10% of the gate receipts. Play, you understand me? And give some of these players an opportunity to play. Because I also believe that if you have players playing in your local leagues and in the context of your local league, they are performing, they ought to be given an opportunity. I just don't see how financially it is the best thing to bring them over there, or I don't see how it makes sense to like throw them into a match against Catalonia at this particular time without your experienced players, are the players who were in the campaign, your Ravel Morrison and those guys and your Andre Blake. That's my thing, right? So I would say, like Benbow, call up these guys and let us play a game against, reward them before the nation.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm just saying that some of the players who have looked well in the league, you understand me? Call them and say, listen, Ramon Howell, who plays for Waterhouse, call them, let them go and play. The goalkeeper guy, the one of the better goalkeepers, what's his name, at Eric Edwards, call them, let them go and sing. And then you can even put some of your U20s if you want with them. You put Duncan McKenzie with them if you want. Huh?
Only one U20 is there, and that's Jimenez.
Yeah, but that's what I would do. But I mean, like I said, yeah. I don't know. What say you, Unseen?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. You know, I believe that, you know, I also believe that they should play games against clubs in Jamaica also. You know, get the team, even this under 20 team, you know, they're on trials now. Get them, like, it's you know, training week for the Premier League style. Get them to play some practice match against the Premier League. You know, just have them up there and camp. Have them up there and camp, playing each other every day. We need them to play against Arnett and CFAS right at them.
Listen, they can pick a Jamaica select team and say, listen, and say, Howell, Cephas, because Green, Peter McGregor, the Tivoli guy who they called up and he didn't get to play, centre back, oh geez, how could Pinnock? I think his name is Pennycook, right? And let them play against, you have Talbot.
No, he's not a...
No man. What I'm
Talbot
saying is, no man. What I'm saying is that what I think needs to happen is that this U20 team should play against a Premier League select team, which is some of the players that are in around the fringes of the national team. So you have your Amal Knight and Eric Edwards in goal. You have Talbot in there. You have Pennycook in there. You have the Staple. All of these players that Paul all called and looked at. Let them play against the U20.
And stream it live.
So and so that he can see it. That's what should happen. You're preparing the U20 and you're getting an opportunity to look at some of these players. Suppose you have like Peter Lee Vassell, who is over in the States not playing. Let him come down and come play in the game. And you put together a team who is the assistant coach now. That is the next thing. Who going to coach that team?
Moran Garden, man.
Yeah, you get the assistant coach to come in and coach them. Yeah, you understand me? And so you play 2 games with the U20s. So you're preparing the U20, you know. You look at it. No, Talbot is back at Harbourview. Right, he's back at Harbourview. So that's what I would do. Right, yeah. So you have all of those players. You have like Nicar Christian they're talking about at Dunby Holden. So there are several players that we could find, 18 players in the Premier League who people are Ben Bow, people are saying that he needs to get a next look. You have the Ricardo Thomas and the Nardo Thomas, right? You can find players. You can find enough players. You're muted, unseen.
Somebody want to comment, but they don't know how to get to the live chat. So I'm just explaining to them.
Oh. You understand me? Yeah. You understand me? You understand me, Coach Sir Maxwell? And play them. Play 2 games. Yeah, just play the 2 games. Yeah. Cavaliers have Richard King. Who again? Out there. The captain. You understand me? Yeah, you have these players who you could look at. Portmore have this player. Used to play at. He's a left back. Used to play at St. George's. He's the captain for Portmore. Oh, jeez. Lord have mercy. Emilio Rosso. You just say, listen, we're gonna play against the U20 team. Coach Hall will be watching it remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody say Fabian McCarthy, although I think he's past that age right now. Yeah. And the coach just watch it remotely. And he may see like, well, how it look like he can make it. Yeah, you understand me? I think that's what the coach...
because the JFF have them TV station, so they can stream the match.
Have the TV station.
And they have the video camera, so they can stream the match and put it on YouTube. So, you know, they can get all them analysis and everything at the game using that camera.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think that's an option. That's a very good option that they can.
And
I didn't even call all what centre back at Mount Pleasant that they just purchased. Oh jeez. Topi.
He's on that list.
No, but what I'm saying though is that these guys, it would better serve them if they played against the U20 team in a couple of games.
Well, it will serve the under 20s better.
It will serve the under 20s. You know what is funny? I think that under 20 team would give these players a good run for them money.
Maybe they could have beat them too.
And I want them to know that Paul are watching. And because if they make the U20 beat them, none of them should go on the trip.
I agree, I agree.
So,
you can't stop money's man, because if the professional players from overseas come down and them are play a ball.
Let me tell you, I would do that, and if they make the U20, there are 2 games. And if the U20 beat you in the 2 games, brother, you can't go on the trip.
You say all them can't go on the trip then. No, so oh God.
Yeah, man. But Peter McGregor really Peter McGregor is one of the standout because he has 6 goals in 7 games. But I think I from what I've been hearing, he's not going to be in Jamaica come summer. So I don't know if I'd love for him to get a look in. But what is WH 876? No spamming, no man. Yeah. So I would, yeah. So what I would do is, yeah.
I can give some breaking news on Javon Watson. Somebody is asking.
Yeah. Let me just say this, yeah, man. He's going back. He's going back overseas. Pesa, I'm not sure if it is Sweden, but he's going back. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Javon Watson is not in the squad.
That obvious one. Anybody who do them thing they need to go football.
But like prison. I said, people, the U20 teams, the players, a lot of the players, I said they really look, like I said, Duncan McKenzie, also, yeah.
Minus one.
Yes.
I believe that using that method, playing against a selected Premier League team, should be the right way to select the under 20 players more than have them playing against each other and select the players. But then play against someone, play some real football, and then say, all right, this boy can manage the pace. Yes, yeah. All right. Real life thing, objective base.
Yeah.
Match settings.
Exactly. They play the game on a Wednesday. This Wednesday and next Wednesday.
Match settings.
You play 2 Wednesdays. You play it at Arnett Gardens. You understand me? Mm-hmm. You play at 2 venues. And you play it on the Wednesday because the last games are played on the Monday. So you play it on the Wednesday, right? Because after the player play the Monday, you say, listen, you come to training the Tuesday, you play the game on the Wednesday, they go back to the training the Thursday. But go ahead.
Let me steal this from the NBA. What I think the JPL needs to arrange is maybe a 1-off or 2-off matches against the under 20, a Premier League All-Star team, one playing in say Kingston and another one playing in Montego Bay against the under 20s. A full strength under 20. That is something that the JPL needs to take up because that now would be excellent and be good for the league on a whole.
Listen,
when we have
hey, people, man say must steal something from the NBA. Then that me just say all along. The man say from the NBA. Then that me say all along.
Man.
JPL All-Star.
See, Owen said that earlier. Hold on, people, hold on. The breaking news. Leader just repeat everything when me Owen said. And they must steal it from the NBA. Oh my God. They must steal it. They want to repeat everything or just say they must steal it. That's it. Go ahead, yeah, man.
Yes, oh God. Anyway, you can back me on this one. In 1998, most of our practice games was against teams in the country, right?
And in the Caribbean, we played a lot of Caribbean teams. And we went on tour like to Brazil a couple of times, you know, and stuff. So we played a lot, yeah, man.
And the under 20 team that went to the World Cup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The under 20 team was playing. You see, that under 20 team was playing against the senior. They were training because a lot of times the camps were together.
Oh, okay.
They used to camp together, you know, like they were in camp at the same time and stuff. So that was part of the advantage. But I'm saying, what we are saying is what should be done. Because remember now, all of these under 20 players are going to be released to go back to their clubs, you know. So they are going to play for their clubs. If the clubs want to start them, that is this weekend. So the camp end on what? Thursday? Friday. So they're going to go back to their clubs, and the clubs will determine if they should play or not over the weekend. So I am saying you can still find, and the one thing I'll add to what I've said that leader stole from the NBA is to play one game in I don't even know how thing there stay. What's the name of it? Catherine Hall. I would say play it in Draxall. I'd rather play it at Draxall because of the support. Like, and I'd play one at Arnett Gardens because
promote the game.
Eh?
Promote the game big time.
That's what I'm saying. So you make money, and the Paul Hall gets to see the local players, because if the U20 beat them in the 2 game, them not to make the trip. Because if we have a U20 player scoring 3 goals here and 2 goals here to beat the senior players, then we can't take the senior forward. We have to bring the U20 forward. if the U20 goalkeeper keep 2 clean sheets and the senior goalkeeper concede goal, we have to bring the U20. So here it is. Show your class against our U20s if you want to go Catalonia.
Show your class.
I just want to make a little pitch here for those people listening.
Go ahead.
When you mention U20 forwards, there's a player that a lot of people have not seen. I'm making a pitch for the match tomorrow for St. Andrew Technical versus Kingston College, the under 16 finals. I think a lot of people that have not seen Dijon Richards, come out and have a look at him. Right? He'll be going up against St. Andrew Technical with some very good young talent.
Think him there Spain now. Think him there Spain.
Didn't he score in the last game? Didn't he score a penalty?
No, he didn't score. He did probably the penalty. I'm not sure. I don't know.
He scored the penalty to carry the team to the victory. Last penalty.
He didn't score in open play. He had good chances, but he didn't score. But who is hot is the youth there, Andre Saman from St. Andrew Technical, and Omari Leng.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the other name, brother.
Yeah, brother, little brother.
Is going to be hot. It's going to be a good match. So those people that want some good youth football, see that tomorrow.
The centre back at 2, ready. Start.
Centre back what?
The number 4, I think him ready.
Yeah. For all the people who want to watch Whisper, the game will be played at Stadium East.
3 o'clock tomorrow.
3 o'clock at the Stadium East. Yeah.
Yep. They can get out and have a look.
No, Whisper wasn't in Spain. Whisper has been in
Obviously.
That's another thing. It's not. He's playing tomorrow. I can guarantee that.
Yeah. Nobody go. We know that's another thing. We don't want no other thing.
Don't believe everything Mr. Butler tells you here. He's not in no Spain here. He played the other day and he's still here.
Travis asking which Hutchinson is in talk with JFF. He must be. There must be a replica. He said that Omari Hutchinson playing for the U19. Let's see, sir. All right. Brian says, in the last time they were in camp and they played a practice game against the local senior team, the coach only used 111 from the U20 squad for the entire team. You remember that camp that Paul called with the senior teams and the U20s? All right, so you know that in that team, right? You know that day only 11 of the U20 players played. All the others watched the entire game and never gone on the pitch, none at all. So I don't know. That was a very strange one.
No, Mannings, let me tell you something. Well, if we look at the reality of the situation, because even you mentioning that we're looking at some players coming here. Before I had mentioned previously that we're looking to get a local core, and I in my wisdom, seeing what was there, I was expecting about 7. But if we're lucky and we can get 11, that'll be good. But I'm still expecting at least 9 players to be coming from the diaspora to make up that team. And a number of them in certain positions, like the goalkeeper for certain, we need at least one other center back, right? We need a possibly a CDM, right? And definitely 2 forwards, right? That's what I'm really seeing. And a left back.
I think we have 2 nice CDM already. You know?
2 what?
We have 2 nice CDM.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Possibly CDM. I don't know. You know, I know we have 2 good CDMs basically here.
We never know.
But they might want.
Listen, let me say this. With all due respect, still, Whisper nor his father never said at any point that they were in Spain. So leave the youth alone, man. They never.
Actually,
not that I know.
He's going Friday. I understand. To be honest, I understand he should be going Friday.
Yeah, and he's going to Spain Friday, and he could end up in Germany too. So it's not too late. So
he should be going Friday. Somebody at King's College that if he's going, he'd be going Friday.
Yeah, I heard that a wonder kid will be turning down England to play for JAU20. What I'll tell people, big up Owen. I hear people talking about there's no way a particular player could ever choose Jamaica. I can tell you this. You're going to be surprised. Right? You're going to be surprised. That's all I will say. Next thing you can say this, but some of you are going to be surprised. All right?
Surprise.
Yeah. Pearson is injured, but he was away as well. The KT
he was away.
Yeah, he was away. Yeah, the KT baller looked good in training, man. Yeah, I heard a story about the KT baller, you know, that he the coach himself basically said, hold on there, I'm gonna see this youth name. Nah, man. And said, you know, this kid, yeah.
Brian Martin, unseen sports. What do you mean real life thing? So the training camp is a movie.
Yeah.
I forgot to be specific. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We are talking trouble.
Yeah. Anything else you want? Yeah. You want to say, sir? You know, any more breaking information? Not to break our hearts, but you know, and cause emotional damage. You know what I say? 18 local players to Catalonia. Oh, Jesus, peace. Anything you want to share, sir? Except the amount of players that you suspect.
Well, I could give you some of the names that are on the list, but I think I already ripped out some of the names already, most of the names.
And then there's a question. There's a question from Impact TV for you. There's a question from Impact TV for you. You seen it?
Oh, if Whisper wasn't in under 20 training today, no, he wasn't.
Why wasn't? Is that why it wasn't?
He has a match tomorrow.
So
he's not in the camp, you know. But
so people might ask why school.
Okay. Let me say one thing, right? About Whisper, he's a very good player, very good potential, but I wouldn't want to see him leading our attack. If we're going to depend on him at his age, it doesn't say very much about the quality of our attack. He's good, very good, not underrating him, but remember, you know, he's also eligible for the next under 20, which I think at his peak, we should be able to probably qualify based on some of the other talent that is also there. That's going to be going with him. So at this stage, personally, I don't expect him to be the one that's going to lead that under 20 forward line, right? I'll be honest, but he is quite good, but he still has a lot to learn.
Okay, but he's not at the camp. I think because he had the trip to go on for the trials in Spain. I think that is what caused it. So Yeah.
One is man, Robert Smith get restless. Him say, why can't we just name the players if so much people know?
All right. Let me just accept a call. Caller, good evening. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Who do we have online?
Robert, Marlins man.
Yes, sir. What you doing, Robert?
You're still alive.
If it's still live, yeah, man, I'm alive, man. I'm alive. Dead man don't talk, you know.
They say you're still live for the program.
Yeah, man.
Oh. But there still, me just go on YouTube and go, me see notification and just people don't believe it, so that's why I call. I don't know if you do a run program so late.
Oh, yeah, good to get me. We're gone, you know, thanks. Because we're going to close at 2:30 at 2 hours and 30 minutes in you call, you know. So yeah.
Why? They're like, you know, I will get this about from your program, man.
What you mean? Wait, I don't understand what you mean. Mr. Maxwell,
Me feel all that program if you stop post them on there, man. Can you come for the contracts on scary things sometimes, May I tell you?
Oh, Jesus.
You have to wonder if I really true.
Like, give me an example.
Like 18 player when say I got Catalonia.
Never said going.
You never said them going still enough.
So shocking things the man talking about. You have to wonder if
what he said though, let me quote him properly. He said that they are being. What he said? No man, tell me what him said.
He must say because at the time schedule at the date the 25th and the EPL had done the championship or whatever I done in England like 3 days before it had got players release and go.
No man, the man say, oh you get that? You not say that tonight.
Let me tell you the players don't call up. I never said anything about the local players.
Hold on. All right. You see, Robert, this is where sometimes me challenge the people them. Let me tell you what he said on my program. Yeah, tonight he said that there are 18 players for consideration to be selected.
Right.
So if you want to take him on somebody else's program, you have to cite, you have to do that. But that is what he said at this program. You understand? That's all.
No, but man, I tell you, sometimes no man, that's some scary things, man. You come like when you watch some late night movie and it's scary, man. May I tell you? And when you hear
I thought the facts.
Sometimes when Mr. Max said, sometimes when me hear that and something, I wonder if you conspire with somebody in a JFF and they might tell you business to come chat. And they might use it as a little scapegoat.
The list of the players, it didn't come from nobody in the JFF. It actually came from an overseas agent.
Yeah,
that was really pissed off about some players being left out. Right? So trust me, my sources are very varied here.
Yeah, but what are you saying tonight though? What is your contribution to the program tonight, Robert?
Well, the man scared me, man. I have to wonder when Jamaica football I go, brother. God know me have to wonder. It's like me have little hope today and then tomorrow me not have no.
Okay.
Believe me, I tell you. Marlins, man.
Carla, you want any local players going?
Local players? I don't know.
You don't want to say anything?
I don't want to hear about where the player them are from. I just care if you say 18 players go and them never play for Jamaica yet.
No man, they're gone. Well, I don't know if the 18 players. I think the names that he called, they have played for Jamaica. Like I think Zemeniz was one of those names and Talbot. But nonetheless, still Robert. Here's the thing. Like I agree with you, right? I agree with you. So I agree with you that it seemed like it seems like hopeless. And sometimes when I hear the story, it's very, even for me, sometimes it's very dissatisfying. All right.
Yeah, man. It just make your heart leap, man.
Well, I don't know if it'll go that far. However, my suggestion is that the European players, the European-based players, should go to the Catalonia a game, and then we should play a Jamaica select team against the U20s, two games, which would prepare the U20s and also give Paul Hall an opportunity, if he is the appointed head coach, to see them, and then try to get a friendly against a Cayman or a Bonaire or a Grenada or a St. Vincent or a Turks and Caicos, one of those teams, and bring the if you have USL players who are available and the local players to that game. But I don't think at this point it is the wisest thing, in my opinion. You understand me? This is just my opinion, to bring local players to play in the game in Europe. That's just my thoughts.
May I tell you this, man? You ask Mr. Maxwell if he know who I coach.
For what?
This man I know everything.
For what?
For the Jamaica team, if Paulo will get the job, ask him.
No, he did answer. He did answer that, man. But go ahead.
Me don't know. Me never hear.
Oh.
Never hear. So.
Man, he has a talk to me, someone.
Not talk to this man. I tell you something nervous. Hey, me nervous. So they come out to Jamaica football.
You don't sound like you're nervous. But go ahead, Maxwell. Answer him now.
All.
People,
Okay.
let me say it again.
You want to? Let off some of the names, them, if you want to hear them.
Let off what kind of names?
Yeah.
Let off, okay.
The ones that are in the 18 that gave him a heart attack. Amal Knight, Jadine White, Staple from Harborview, Zimenez, Mount Pleasant, Topi, Mount Pleasant, Green, Mount Pleasant, Talbot, Harborview, Bygrave, Dunby Holden, Kenroy Campbell, Cavalier, Dwayne Atkinson, Cavalier, Richard King, Cavalier. That's just off the top of my head. I know I'm leaving out some of those. I think that's at least 10 I went a while ago. Right. Waterhouse, oh gosh, I'm missing the left back and the CDM. Oh, 12. I can't remember everybody off the top.
Man is man.
Cool, man.
Yes, sir. I'm hearing you.
Man is man. If they play the way my call out, where them
What's that?
No,
they play the way I call out, where they going? Where you talking about with those players?
They're going, they're under consideration. Some of them will be going to Catalonia.
It look like no love embarrass me.
I'm a beer. I'm only the messenger, you know. I'm only the messenger. And give it because that list only came to the beam today.
We're not really not ashamed for Jamaica football. We're not ashamed for Jamaica people, brother. We don't love embarrass me. It's like we're not set to embarrass me. Both the JFF and the whole and we don't sleep good on the bed at night time, Mr. Maxwell.
I'm not part of the JFF, you know. I have no part. By the way, let me just make it straight. Most of the information that I get is not from Mr. Speed. Let me just tell you. They are from either players, agents, or other people.
Because I am guilty content that Speed make you call out name, you know.
Right, no, I just tell you because plus that field.
So here's the information. There's going to be no end to this conversation with Maxwell and Robert. All right, and we're gone past time. All right.
Just man.
Man is man. You forgot about part 2. Robert versus Maxwell.
Yeah. So no, Robert. Go ahead, Robert. Let me hear you. Go ahead, Robert.
Listen, me I say.
Yeah, man, go ahead. That's something to go ahead.
Mr. Maxwell, like how you know so much, I want to know who are going to be the national coach. Can you answer my question I know?
Man, is an answer your question already?
Answer it again. Just answer it again, man.
Never hear.
Paul Hall. once he and the JFF can come to an agreement on terms, he is the coach.
Perma, he might go
Yeah.
left the job at QPR. If then come on terms, he might go left the job at QPR.
So the JFF does not have a problem with the coach. This is a similar situation that what happened sometime in the past with John Barnes wanting to be part of a club team and also coaching in Jamaica. It's something that the JFF does not have a problem with.
Oh, so he might do both job.
Yes.
All right, so caller. So Robert, understand that is the views expressed by Maxwell. I am sure Sports and Management does not confirm because we cannot verify any of this information. Let me put it out there. All right. With utmost respect for Mr. Maxwell, I have no evidence that this is the case. However, he is close enough. He's close enough.
Him know something, man.
Huh?
He know something.
No, I'm fine. No, I'm not saying he doesn't, but I just wanted to know because I don't want anyone to say that Unseen Sports and Management say. But he you know.
Is either somebody are telling something are related to Nostradamus.
Okay. 6 out of you. Not 6. Zimonese is not at top of you. I call Staple and I call Knight. That's it.
Maxwell.
Yeah, man.
Final question. All right then, Robert.
Manning's one.
Yes, sir.
Manning.
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
you know
Mr.
what I feel, sir?
Quiet,
you know
Mr.
What I feel, sir?
Quiet, Mr. Robert. Yeah.
I feel, sir, you see the under 20 squad there?
Yes, yes, sir.
I feel, sir, we just play all local players in it. And no bother with the overseas because it never cause a problem.
What kind of problem? We already have overseas players.
No, man, it never cause a divide.
Robert, I was there, Robert. There's nothing like that. I don't know where you get that from. The players.
You know the reason why I said that? This is the reason why I said this thing with them people that come on the program and contact all the while. It only a bring problem between local and foreign.
I don't know where Robert. Why when you call, man, I can't say nothing to you?
Yeah, you can talk, man.
My friend.
Yes.
I don't know. Tonight on this program, there has been no discussion about no divide on this program. I wish not to have the conversation on my platform because there's no evidence of it and there's no discussion about it on the program all night. We have videos and we have evidence of the players overseas and local up there playing, and the coaches are up there and everybody's getting along fine and them enjoying each other. So I don't have any evidence of what you're saying, and I will not discuss it. In the same thing I said with thing there, that's his opinion, not mine. That's your opinion. We have not been having that discussion, and I'm not going to go about no because that has not been brought up by anyone on my platform tonight. So I refuse to discuss it.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. My mom did tell you though. I can't tell you. Never do that.
Robert,
Never do like Mr. Maxwell.
Can I ask you one question?
Mm-hmm.
Where in Jamaica you come from?
Spanish Town.
St.
Catherine.
You come from St. Catherine, you come from Spanish Town, man.
Born at Spanish Town Hospital.
That don't mean you come from St. Catherine. Everybody bought a St. Catherine. Everybody bought a St. Catherine.
Hello, sir. Grew up in some city. Go to Ensom City, always go to St. Catherine High. Don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me something on St. Catherine. Don't tell me something about a Spanish town. Don't tell me something on live a Spanish town. You know every crevice and corner. Spanish Town.
So Ensom City a Spanish Town?
Ensom City is a community of Brunswick Avenue.
Me not-
You go garden pen.
Lord of-
You tell you exactly everywhere. You tell
Me
you
just-
everywhere.
Wait, no answer me ask you. You say is Ensom City
Um,
Spanish Town?
No, Spanish
Oh.
Town are the capital. The capital of St. Catherine. But me I tell you, say, I was brought up there. Okay, sir.
All right, me boss. All right, me go friend Robert. Can you have a man me up in the mess up?
Me nah body up, man. I'm a virgin man. I want. You know, when I come to Jamaica, I'm gonna make you know.
I alone us give a Spanish Town coming out. Come over there, Papa.
Hey, then, but after which part you there, then all that good better now. I mean, you don't have problem. I watch serious fucking at the push part, them part. Yes, that was my problem now. I'm better. Take time to live.
Tell brother, what kind of bush you talk about? I'm here beach there center,
Yeah,
man. Which beach? Which beach?
No, man,
which
yeah.
beach? Which beach here Spanish Town?
What it, man? Port Clarence.
Full car. It was the full car. Here Spanish Town.
No, I know they're in a Spanish town, but they can't call it a most Spanish town people are else. They go a Port Word.
So may I ask you again. Which beach there Spanish Town?
No, they're in a Spanish town.
Then that may I ask you, man. Me can walk go to the beach, you know.
The one answer the question.
Eh?
The one answer the question like beach just Spanish Town. Yeah, easy, Robert.
All right, bless up, Robert. You can have
Yeah,
a
man,
next call.
respect,
Yeah, man. All right, then. I appreciate it. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Maxwell, you have to be careful when you talk with man like Robert, because I don't want Robert to have heart issues because of you. Yeah. Yeah, people just we had a call. Come let me just call about the call and then we can end. But Unseen, anything you want to say?
Well, you know, so far under 20 selection.
Yeah, blessings. Hold on, man of steel. Listen, you see, after Robert called brother, you have to keep the thing going, you know. You cannot let down yourself, you know, man of steel. Your time, go ahead.
Yeah, but money is.
Yeah.
What me I say to you still? Is that a clown show you keep them on?
We know.
Maybe Mr. Maxwell come for the program and tell you about busy Atkins now going a team, brother.
Go in a team. The brother.
You know, hear Mr. Maxwell say busy Atkins in the panelist, brethren.
Eh?
It's a comedy show you run, brother.
Why?
You have to talk so loud, me. I hear you, man. You see, no, don't make Mrs. Mike now for take out the leather belt, you know, man. All right, so let me say this. Like, I don't want to get into player calling names, but I would want to believe. But Mr. Maxwell, let's look at it. You know that Busy is not having a good season.
I know that. I'm not. Hold on.
You know that
Man,
Cavaliers. You know the Cavaliers is
messenger.
having a top six. Eh?
I'm only the messenger, sir. I'm just passing on something that I know.
Oh, okay.
I had a long time that overseas agent today, and that, over the list, and some people that were excluded from the list that he got.
Okay.
Okay? A very, very influential agent. He represents two of our biggest local talents overseas. And he was really pissed about it.
It was about who? About Busy being on the list?
The list, that list that I basically gave you. Right? There were some local players who he expected to have been there that he now represents that weren't there.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know, but I'm thinking like I'd want to believe like if you have a list, there's no way on present form. There's no way on present form Busy can be as old as Benbow is. Benbow is 25. Benbow is having a way better season than Busy. His team is performing better than Busy's team. That's number one. Number two, all right. Peter McGregor scored 6 goals in 7 games.
Is the issue.
Playing better than Busy, and there's no way that he should. Whatever list is being, And listen, Busy is a little player that very respectful youngster, but I'm saying on present form, I really respect. I mean, very good personality, right? So I don't have any problems with him. All right. So
Yeah, but Mannings, which position Busy are playing at the team?
that's what I'm
Which
saying.
position Busy play? Attacking midfield?
I don't understand how he's going to get in it.
The only player from Cavalry who probably can make that team then now Kenny Roy Campbell.
And not only that, but
Yeah,
Cephas must be in it. No man, and not only Kenry Campbell, man, but think there must the captain King has to be in there too.
Oh, King. Oh no man. Me not call King here because King is a regular.
However, I don't expect the Waterhouse or the Cavalier players to probably make that trip either. And I told you the reasons why.
No, man, we're not going there. What I'm saying that on farm, Busy in the position that he plays, right? You have Daniel Green doing better than him, Cephas doing better than him, right? Those two players are doing better than him. Benbo doing better than him on present form this season. So if there is a list, those players.
Even Bradford have more goal than Busy, and Bradford play less games too.
Right? But I am saying, remember now, I am saying to you now that Busy is a good potential. But if you're picking people on farm, there's no way it gets over these players. Right.
What they said is his class is permanent, form is temporary.
No, Mr. Maxwell, no bother with that. Mr. Maxwell, no bother with that.
Yeah.
Mr. Maxwell, no bother with that.
I don't think you can use class and form, because what are you going to use to say Busy's class over Benbow? Or Busy's class over McGregor? Or Busy's class over Daniel Green? What would make him class over them? And I don't like to do this because I really don't like, because like I said, Busy is a little player that I really have a lot of time for. But I just think something has gone wrong with him, and I don't know, but he doesn't look himself this season. I don't want to suggest what I think, but right now, let me just be honest, people. I think right now, I think it's coming to the time when for Busy, the Cavalier environment is not the best for him right now. I feel like he and the Mr. Speed not at the same place in terms of expectation. Good player, but there are times when you have to. Yeah. So that's me still. That's how I see it. Good player, have a lot of potential, but there's no way he could be in any list over the players that I've called. Even this player from, though he hasn't played a lot of games, look a whole lot more dangerous than Mullines for Nicholas Nelson. How
He's not on the list.
Eh?
He's not on that list.
So I
guess the
find it hard,
performance took him off that list, Canada, but he's not on the list.
Huh?
He's not on that list.
Who?
Nelson.
He's not on the list?
No.
Okay.
So when we're talking about the Catalonia game and the players that we should be looking at, can give me a shout. I'll be back that time.
Oh, like the players that. Listen, I don't want. Listen, if
the official team comes out,
let me tell you this.
I'll be back to give some people more heart attacks.
Let me tell you this. If 18 local players are going, I'm not going to do a show discussing it. No, I am. Listen to me. If so, these comments are crazy. But this list is bogus. No, what I'm saying that if 18 local players are going to be going, and I support local football, I don't want to do a program on it because I know the kind of sentiments that are going to be expressed towards the players, and a lot of them, yeah. But
Mullins, the thing is sometimes me just think the powers that be sometimes set up the players them, because even the list of Mr. Maxwell that talk about now, how is it that Eric Edwards on the list?
Oh, who?
How is he not on that list?
Eric Edwards.
Eric Edwards.
Eric Edwards.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say Eric Edwards is not there. I can't remember all of the names. No, actually, the two goalkeepers that I remember being there was actually I do remember seeing Eric Edwards' name. I remember White and Knight. Yeah, 2.
But none
Yes,
of them.
White the panelist there. White get panelist there.
White has only started 2 games so far this season, you know.
Said, I am only a messenger, sir.
Mr. Maxwell, when the people them give the list.
No, nobody gave me the
some name and them reprint it.
Oh, no.
Ever tell you.
Jet and I had a long talk, right, over the list today.
Some
I was
picture
shocked that
people, me use bubble up and ball plate. That's some picture job. Some picture or something. Or some like I don't want to say. One say that with the scamming thing with them over there, say some say it's some penguin drop off the list. Some penguin drop off the list. Breaking news: Uruguay versus Jamaica, June 10. Bad Gaza said that. You hear about that, Maxwell?
No, that is breaking. That is breaking. No, I never heard that one.
Okay, where it will be played? Bad Gaza. Big up, Sir Richie. Big final tomorrow. KC versus
so hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mannings. Whisper play calls?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing tomorrow for KC.
So in the but go up on the trial.
I think he's going to be leaving afterwards. I think still me personally if I were Whisper's handler, I'd want him to be in Germany. That's me still. They're not
joking that money if him agent say have a trial in a what the place name? Spain Resuscitat.
He's going to go, I think. But
he's still going, he's not going.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play under 16. Suppose he get injured.
Well, it's still. I mean, his parent. I mean, that's a call and parents do man still.
Yeah, that's a choice thing. Well, yeah. That's a choice thing.
Could be injured. He can't use that.
Yeah.
What you say, Mr. Maxwell?
He could get injured on the first day of the trial, so he can't use that.
But I much rather that than getting injured and not get to go on at all. But we just say, me not see the sense in it because under 16 of course that. I mean,
and he has goals here. He wants to represent his school that his father went to. So I don't see a problem.
Listen, still personally, I think Whisper would be good like in German football. Like I could see him thriving in German football. That's me.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm just I think he's built his pace and his style of play. Like you know who, and I know people saying they must say me a madman, but when I think about Jeremy Harlan, like I see him get into that build and kind of if he continue to improve, like I see him like that kind of a forward, like a Jeremy Harlan is his name, plays for Borussia Dortmund. So that's where I see him. I see him fitting into like German football in my head still, but maybe I'm just yeah.
Morning, just say
so you say that busy shouldn't be in the present setup, sir.
Well, me I try to figure out how he make the list or how he get considered.
But what you guys don't understand, Maxwell is just sharing information. It don't mean that.
No man. Me understand Mr. Maxwell, man.
Yeah.
I just play when me I go, but me just still. me no.
But I hear your baller from Mullines look very well, Mr. Makwan Aldridge. He's impressing. And I hear that he's liked by the coach, so that's good. I think he needs to find a way of getting regular playing time in the Mullines starting 11 though.
Alright, we'll see how that goes. But he's a good kid still.
All right,
He's a good kid
listen,
still.
go back.
If we get him opportunity, man, don't worry about that.
Reggie, and don't look when you call. This is management. Don't let your wife have to correct you. You hear me, sir? Whisper. Right? Or you come out, you go in the living room, or you go in the kitchen, brother.
No, man, it's safe, man.
You see it though. Tell Mrs. Hi for me,
Alright,
all
cool.
right? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's
man,
it.
I will.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. All right. So there you go, Sir Maxwell. 3 hour parchment gone, because him have big games coming up. So yes, people, watch KC versus Stats tomorrow. Oh, Barkley, yeah, man. I told you that Barkley's doing well, man. I'm telling you that, man. The Birds them say Barkley's doing well. In fact, who and Barkley play in the same position. It will be interesting to see if both of them will make it or one out of the two. You know who? Maxwell, Devontae Campbell, and Jerome Barkley. Same position they playing. So I don't know if the experience of the Premier League that Devontae Campbell, because they say he's a very smart player, They say that, he's skill and pacey, but his football IQ is very high. Yeah, so Devontae Campbell. So I don't know. So it's Devontae Campbell, Barkley, that both of them in the same position. Like I said, I don't know if they'll take both of them.
Barkley's on now. Why they didn't carry him back to Portmore? They should have done that in the transfer window. That's the only thing I'm very disappointed about. I know them well.
He's not at Portmore?
They have him listed as Santos. I haven't seen him feature for Portmore at all this season. I haven't seen it. And that's a mistake I think they made. They should have carried him back. He was there previously.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then the thing is sometimes with these things, because I also understand that Devontae Campbell have a couple major options. He has a very viable option in England for the summer. So and other places in Europe. So that's the next thing as well. So I don't so it's tough still, but maybe they will have both of them, Yeah.
Well, what I can say, I can give you another little hot thing before you cut.
Go ahead.
That according to a super agent for Jamaican players, between this summer and going into December, we're going to see some unprecedented moves of local players. That's all I can say. And that's coming from, I won't say with agent. I'm going to give it away to you. But he is representing two of the biggest local talents right now. That's all I can say. We're going to see some very big moves for some local players. McGregor, Zimenez, I won't bother calling any more names because I'm going to be making know all of the people that he's representing. But
yeah, man. Big
look for some.
I know that Devontae Campbell has some very good options. If I were him, I would take them, and I know that he has the support of his club because, he's a very who knows his relative. His relative is a former national footballer, I know.
It's not the man, Ralph, here. The man, Ralph, don't represent the big players. So the person wrote it is not him.
Steven James says.
That Europe in David, yeah? Only Europe.
You have to hype, sir. Yeah, so all right. So the game is June 11th in Uruguay. Congratulations, JFF, for negotiating one more game. There you go. So now we have one in May, one in June. So there you go. Bring the European players go play Upper Catalonia, and then bring local players and USL players go play Uruguay. Closer. Hey, listen, I have to big up Gaza, bad Gaza, who broke the news. Yeah, you take over from you are the leader right now.
Yeah, man. It clip me that one, man. Really clip me.
You understand? You are the leader. People, we have a new leader in the place. And the leader is Bad with Bad Gaza. The man come give with news that Jamaica go play Uruguay. In Uruguay. Stay here from that. You understand me? Yeah, man. Bad with Bad Gaza with the breaking news. No heartache, but be a joy and smile on our faces. But yeah. Oh, I don't know. Celebration game. Yeah, man, but respect. It is almost. It's 25 minutes to big up Coach Minzy, Coach's desk. You know, go and check him out. People doing a lot of work over there at the pen relays. So you don't know. Big up all the other vloggers, the Ryan LFC and Military Guna. Unseen Sport who was on, please go and subscribe to his platform, the Formula Sport. Big up Talawa TV, you understand me? Bless it up. bless up. Man is man, so if the JFF uses Uruguay money to pay for the Catalonia, where will it? I don't know. Darwin Nunes versus Jamai Topi and Richard King. What a thing it will be. So U20 players give from top academies around their first team to play versus one of those teams from new or the friendlies. Okay. That's a good plan too. Yeah, man. I love this one here. Yes, so we have the leader and we have a misleader. Gaza, we say. That's a good one. The one them say you're missing. The one them say you're missing leader, them say you're missing. You know what I mean? No, man, he said he's a very good player. I mean, Coach Eric said he's a very good player. Yeah, Barkley. Gaza. Hey, listen. So, Gaza, make sure you keep it going. You understand me? People, bless up. Have a wonderful night. Wonderful program. And to thank Mr. Maxwell for coming on. And also thank Javon Parchment. I don't know if I'll be doing the show like he says with the Catalan if it is just based on if it is just based on local players, I won't be doing a show, so somebody else can do that. All right, Maxwell, that's how we're going to do it, you know. You understand me? But bless up, people. Thank you. Remember, if you have not yet, please subscribe to the platform, like and share. You understand me? Grace and peace multiply to you. Be safe, live safe, and keep somebody else safe. You understand me? Until we meet again, I'm Man in His Man. This is I Am Sure Sports, and we are over and out.
Yo, watch about dog. SK New Artist. The body out there. Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Orchard-Race, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Yeah. Someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.